tournament for home-based stars.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get teams like Senegal struggling at this stage, it's possibly because the Senegalese league itself is not the strongest.
Yeah,
it's not one of the most talked about leagues in Africa.
True, okay. That is true.
When you talk about the Moroccan league, it's one of the leagues that produces champions on the Africa continent consistently.
Yeah.
The reason why South Africa may struggle is because only one team seems to be the powerhouse, Mamelodi Sundowns. And I'm not sure any coach will come to this tournament with only Sundowns coach players. You would have to pick from Pirates, you would have to pick from Kaizer Chiefs and Amazulu, Stellenbosch and co. So you seem to get that distribution of players around. Then it makes it difficult for you to get that team chemistry you want. They always struggle. Algeria and the likes. A lot of teams are coming in and struggle. Simply because of how they pick their team. So there's CS Belus, that players in it, there's USM just players, there's MC just players, littered all over. Ghana has also had a fair share of that issue, where you bring in players almost like Prefer Kobo, within a very short time you have to go and play this tournament. Again, Nigeria also suffered same. So it's almost like the teams that have some consistency in terms of where their players play, in terms of how close their players are. So Sudan, for instance, lots of players come from Al Hilal and America. These two teams are playing in the Mauritanian league. They have a lot of time to do other things, especially with their coach, camping and all. And then Morocco. I think Morocco, for me, because of the standard of their league and the standard of their players. So you get their players doing a lot of high performance stuff. So they seem to be always ready for tournaments. In the last few years, we've seen Morocco at under 17, under 20 at AFCON almost get to the semi-final stage of almost every competition. It's in Morocco, even with the girls. So Morocco seems to be getting everything right in the African football space. Almost everything Morocco seems to be getting right.
But so do you think that CHAN is a good measure of a league's strength? Because you speak about the Senegalese league, and the fact that it's not the most talked about, but they've won the CHAN before. Yes. DRC's won the CHAN before. I think Morocco have won the CHAN
DRC,
before.
Yeah. So almost every team that has won it has come on the back of, or we've seen a certain improvement in their league within a certain space, a certain space of time. Okay. So when Ghana made it in 2009 to the finals, and made it to the finals again in 2014, we had some very good players in our league. At that time, the local league wasn't as watered down as it seems today. There were some very good players in there. Milo was able to do a job with the team. Maxwell Kunedu was able to do a job with the team. It is clear now that the standards have dropped, and that is why over the last 2 or 3 editions we've struggled to even be there.
Okay, but I'm asking if you think that the CHAN is a good measure of a league strength. Because, for example, if you run through the winners of the CHAN, DRC, Tunisia, Libya
beat us.
Yes, DRC again, Morocco, and Senegal.
So the Tunisia and Morocco story would give credence to that fact. And if Morocco win again, it gives credence to the fact that, well, the country that has the strongest league has dominated the competition ever since it started. You can make the argument based on Morocco and their performances.
They've won it twice.
And of course, I don't think that Morocco would falter in the finals come this weekend. I don't think so. But you look at Senegal. Yes, Senegal one off, Libya one off, DRC twice. And DRC, because of the likes of TP Mazembe, they have some very good teams in there. Otoho de Oyo and Co. They have some very good teams in there. So DRC, I can say, have quite a good league. Because you see our players moving to the DR Congo to go and play league football.
Yeah, but these days not like that.
Yeah, but they seem to have quite a formidable team that play in Africa consistently. And between 2019 and 2016, DR Congo did have a very strong league. Maybe these days a bit watered down, just like ours. But I think you can make the case for. And in 2011 when Tunisia won. Of course, we know the Tunisian league. These days, not as strong as it used to be. But you can draw that conclusion that yes, it's testimony to the fact that a country that wins it has a good league, has a strong league. I think it would be a sound argument to make. And the countries that fail to perform on consistent basis, you can also make the argument for them and say, well, they are struggling because indeed they may not be the teams that are dominating in Africa, winning the Champions League and all. And when I make this argument, the next question that people would ask is, why hasn't Egypt won it? That's the next question people would ask. But again, Nathan, the zonal qualification now becomes a problem again. Because of how the qualifiers, the way we play the qualifiers, again, that zonal, qualification. Because without doubt, if you are talking about CHAN, looking at how Egypt dominated the Africa Cup of Nations with mostly home-based stars, unless Egypt try other things, unless they don't bring their main players to take part in the qualifiers. But it's easy to rely on most of the players that play for the Egyptian national team. I think that so I want to believe Egypt try something different when it comes to the qualifiers. Possibly playing players who may not be the mainstay in the national team, because the national team is dominated by home-based stars. And then we have the quality players coming. Okay. So as to how Egypt, since 2009, have not won the championship, or have not even finished in the semi-finals,
Sporty,
raises questions, and that could defeat the argument that, well, if your league is the best league, it doesn't mean you win the CHAN. That's the only country that can defeat the argument.
That what if your league is good, you even though your league is good, you still can't win the CHAN.
Egypt will be the exception, but otherwise, I think Morocco, DRC when they won it, Morocco these days, Senegal when they won it, I think we can make that, we can make a strong case for them. But so that's why I don't know. Maybe those who follow CHAN religiously and follow through the qualifiers religiously can educate us on why Egypt dominated the Africa Cup of Nations with home-based stars.
Yes,
but Egypt is struggling at the CHAN tournament. Maybe someone should explain that.
but these days, if
I'm sure they have a team A and team B.
These days, even the main Egyptian national team are not. What was the last time Egypt won the AFCON? Was it not 2010?
Yeah, when they beat us.
Yes, they did the three-peat, 06, 08, and 2010. After that, they haven't won.
Well, I mean, around that time, they've had coaching issues. Shehata was the last to win it. After Shehata, they've been chopping and changing coaches. Even our good friend Carlos Queiroz at a point came in there.
Yes, they had Carlos Queiroz, Hector Cooper. I remember 2017.
So they themselves have had issues, and around that time, the Egyptian national team was heavily dominated by players who were dominating in Africa. Just a few additions abroad, but these days they have quite a few coming in. Again, distorting things a bit. So I don't know. Egypt have their own issues, but they have a very good base in terms of home-based stars to qualify for CHAN and dominate like Morocco is dominating.
Well, that's
what I'm saying.
You did say that the hurdle was the zonal qualifying.
But even that.
But you always say that if you are good, you are good.
If you are good, you are good. Algeria and Morocco made it to the tournament. Egypt didn't. And that's why I'm saying that we would have to go back and look at the qualifiers and see and figure out why Egypt failed. And that's why I'm saying that. I want to believe Egypt have a plan where they possibly have a team A and team B. Maybe Nuhu can explain this to us, because I'm sure Nuhu has been following a lot of these competitions. So I'm sure maybe if Imota can raise Nuhu on the line, we'll try to understand why Egypt struggled. Because really, Nathan, we've seen the blueprint is there. The blueprint is there. I mean, the teams that have done so well in this tournament, Kenya, without doubt, Nathan, they have a very functional league, a very decent league, lot of talent coming through, and we all know the circumstances under which they failed to qualify to the semi-finals. So, I mean, there's evidence.
Okay.
To back that claim.
So for example, for this year's CHAN, Egypt and Algeria withdrew.
Okay.
They withdrew.
Okay.
So
then that possibly explains.
Yeah. So now for the northern zone, you had Libya, Morocco, and Tunisia. They were the only teams. So that zone was scrapped, and all 3 teams qualified automatically.
Okay.
And then Libya pulled out in November 2024. They pulled out on my birthday, 22nd November 2024. They said fixture congestion and the fact that the national team's participation would halt the league. Okay. So they decided that they won't play in the CHAN.
Okay.
Then 2 teams made it. Okay, Tunisia, Morocco. And then 4 days later, Morocco pulled out following the club's rejection to the country's participation. So it was only Morocco that showed up from the northern zone in this year's CHAN.
Okay.
You get it? Okay. So that's why Egypt's not here. But you do ask a good question about this year. It looks like it's just one of those things. But you do have a point about Egypt and their record in the CHAN. We need to understand the dissonance between they doing well at club level to a large extent at, say, the Team A level. But when it comes to the CHAN, they don't do that well.
Oh, so Nathan, Egypt have never played at the CHAN.
They have never played at the CHAN.
Yeah,
I
Egypt
see.
have never played at the CHAN.
Wow.
I'm just picking that. Yeah, so that should explain it, because Nathan, you won't have Egypt at this tournament and not perform.
I'd like to know their reason for not playing at the CHAN.
Fixture congestion, all of
Maybe
that.
they don't think the tournament is that important.
It's that important. Yeah, I'm sure. Because I mean, if Egypt do come to the CHAN tournament, we know the quality they have. Ali, Zamalek, Pyramids, Wadi Degla, Ismailia. Nathan, they can pick a whole 24.
Okay.
Of the finest players in Egypt and then sweep everybody aside in this competition.
Let's get some understanding on this Egypt mystery.
Yeah.
In terms of the CHAN, Atim Gary Smith has joined us.
Okay,
right. He has a good grip on a lot of these topics when it comes to African football. Gaza, good morning. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Morning, Mr. Q. Morning, Mr. Ray.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. I'm enjoying your discussion this morning.
I hope you're having a Kwesi Appiah morning.
Don't mind Ray. Don't mind Ray. He's not letting this Kwesi Appiah business slide. But Gary,
yeah. I mean, when we finished Egypt, I'll touch on that as well.
Yeah.
Because the evening before the game, I don't know if it was on the Swag platform or the other one, but I had a bit of banter with our former colleague Tamim Muisa and Jerome Oche on a WhatsApp group about the whole Kwesi Appiah thing. And my take was that people should stop. So not one, yes, we can acknowledge that Kwesi Appiah is doing extremely well with Sudan, while acknowledging that Sudan is not Ghana, and it does not mean that he should come for a third term.
I mean, that's a fair conclusion.
Yes, my take is and has been since his first stint with Sudan that, look, he has the perfect conditions and Sudan is his level. Now, I'll explain when we finish the Egypt thing why yesterday's game proves yet again one key thing that I have seen with Kwesi Appiah's coaching that is a problem. And I'll sum it up in this. Kwesi Appiah is great at developing talent. For a country like Sudan, where talents abound but need an opportunity to express themselves, there is no extremely corrupt structure. When I say corrupt structure, in Ghana, corruption in terms of how players are chosen for teams is very, very structured and it's at an advanced level. In Sudan, it's not like that. If you are good, they put you forward. If you are in the good teams, the national team does not stop you from expressing yourself, because as Kwesi Appiah said in his press conference himself 2 games ago, he came to a team where they hadn't played a league for 2.5 years. The system is very different. In Ghana, before you even call a player from Ofakwa and bring him somebody's godfather, and all those things, the political structure of the Black Stars goes all the way to the presidency, whether it's NDC or MPP. So Kwesi Appiah has struggled. Then you come to the football itself. Look at all Kwesi Appiah's track records as coach of either our local Black Stars, when he has been caretaker of the Black Stars, or the Black Stars itself. Getting out to tournaments has never been a problem for Kwesi Appiah. He's extremely good at that. Extremely. When he gets you to tournaments, getting out of the group stages typically is not a problem for him. Kwesi Appiah's biggest issue for the Black Stars has been that when he meets his classmates, the Black Stars classmates, then he falters. That is the problem he has. As an Arsenal fan, I would dare say, when Kwesi Appiah or Arsenal or Mikel Arteta meet teams that are at the level of Arsenal or higher, that is when you see that he cannot take you to the next level. So, at that time, those who may recall in my writings and some of the things I said on radio and elsewhere, that when Kwesi Appiah finds the Senegals of African football, as the time may be, in AFCONs and the top 3, top 4 teams, he's unable to. So he will get you there, but he doesn't seem to be able to have the idea of what it takes to cross the line with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
exactly.
Yes. And if we want to get to the next level, I said at the time, and a few people did, that we probably needed to beat him up himself, not his technical team, but he himself technically, in order for him to be able to take us to the next level. You might recall, and you see sometimes we have short memories, Standard Chartered Bank sponsored Kwesi Appiah to Liverpool. Do you remember that trip?
Yes, I remember. I remember that
exactly.
so well.
You see, the idea was that there was an acknowledgement that Kwesi was very good as a development coach, as somebody who is able to spot talent and bring the Kudusis and all these young boys into the national team. Yet, when the same players became big, there was something about either their egos and the fact that they have grown that he was unable to handle, or B, technically, when these players grew and played for bigger teams around the world, the same Kwesi Appiah was or is unable to commandeer them to beat the best teams in Africa or in the world. So, in summary, that is it. That has been my challenge with Kwesi Appiah.
Yeah.
And why I had always said that a third term for the Black Stars, me right now, I'm saying it on record, I think that the way Ghanaians are, it is inevitable. Sometime after Otuado, we will shout that we should bring Kwesi Appiah. He will come back again. I don't support it, but me, I know Ghanaians will bring him back again. You may recall, after his first stint, I said on the Denver Start program, Nutiva First program, the Sunday one, what's it called? Football 360.
Yes.
I said that Ghanaians will bring him back. Because, the way he went and the way we are sentimental, every 3 to 4 coaches, Ghanaians always shout, let's go and get a Ghanaian. So that the foreign person stop chopping our money. Then we look for the best Ghanaian and we bring him. So me, I'm saying today, we will bring Kwesi Appiah back. I'm hoping that by that time, he would have developed enough technical gravitas to be able to take us to the next level. So I'm done with Kwesi Appiah. Now let's come to Egypt.
Yeah.
Let's come to Egypt. So, Raymond, what you said is right. The factors that contributed to Egypt being a dominant force in the Northeast and then in the Mid-Northeast, you have articulated them very, very well. The fact that they were playing together, they had rhythm and stuff like that. Yes. So somebody may ask a 2-part question. If that is the case, why is the senior team, the main Egyptian national team, unable to win the AFCON since 2010? And B, if that is the case, why is the Chan team unable to dominate? Let's take the Chan team because that is what we are talking about. Okay, let's take the senior national team. So in 2012, when the Port Said disaster happened, right? You remember that?
Yes, we remember.
So Egypt have had a big issue, like many other very successful countries who operate in a way where their national teams are dominated by their locally based players. I'm talking teams like Egypt themselves, like Tunisia at some point. It's not the same at the moment, South Africa are experiencing the same issue because, South Africa's team are dominated by currently the best of Orlando Pirates and one or two Kaizer Chiefs players and mainly Mamelodi Sundowns.
Exactly.
Now, these teams have one peculiar issue. Because the local teams are so successful, when the players get to the national team, and even I will add the English national team, the Three Lions, to this. When the same players get to the national team, fans are so divided in their club loyalties that you notice that even for the English national team, fans are not able to look beyond their, as it were, their Manchester United bias or their Arsenal bias or their Liverpool bias and so on and so forth. And that goes to divide the loyalties in the national team. If you watch the South African national team, people are rooting for the Sundowns players when they should be rooting for the South African national team. So if somebody is a Sundowns fan and a player is from Kaizer Chiefs and he misses a chance, he bashes him and says they should have put the Sundowns player there instead. In the peak of the Black Stars in the 90s as well, when, we had quite a number of locally based players, and especially when House of Folk were having a bigger representation of their players in the national team in the Sir Joseph Tukwuefio era, we also had that problem briefly. When protocol fans were saying that they think that the House players are doing well, it's a thing about teams that have locally based players dominating the national team. Now, let's come to Egypt. When Ali and Zamalek had their players dominating the national team, this fracas was also a thing. And then, eventually, why is this important? The Port Said disaster happened between fans of the two biggest clubs. It led to the deaths of a significant number of people. I'm not mentioning a number because I can't remember the exact number of people, right? Now, what that did is that it changed the entire fabric of Egyptian football. Because just like we did with the Badebe Commission here in Ghana after May 9th, they established what is essentially a commission of inquiry, a government commission, right? And then the government commission put in a series of stringent rules about Egyptian football and local football in order to forestall a repeat of the deadly Port Said disaster where so many people died. The effect of that was that for the first time in Egyptian history, people became so sick and tired of the constant violence between the top teams, especially Ali and Zamalek, that for the first time in Egyptian history, people started supporting in droves foreign clubs. Back then, before then, you would never have the phenomenon or the phenomena where people were massive Manchester United supporters or massive Liverpool supporters or massive Real Madrid supporters, that sort of thing. It never happened in Egyptian football because they consumed their own. They went to the stadium, they put their money where their mouth is, and that translated into a massive indolent culture, indolent in a positive way, obviously.
Okay.
Just like when you go to South Africa. When you go to South Africa now, everybody knows. When you go to an average South African pub or bar, right, you hardly see them watching, like you go to your ANC mall or you go to your, your favorite honeysuckle or that sort of thing. 9 times out of 10, they are not showing an English Premier League match. They are showing a local South African football team match. But in 2012, all that changed. And started massively supporting foreign-based teams. That also started affecting the fabric of the national teams. And that is where you might recall the exodus of good Egyptian players going abroad started. So players like this guy who went to Wigan, who was so good.
Amir Zaki, who was the star of the 2008 AFCON. Yep.
There is no way before 2012, Amir Zaki is allowed by the Egyptian system, by Ali and Zamalek, or even his family, to move outside. But by that time, families of talented players were so afraid for the lives of their players that they started influencing them to start going abroad, right? So, In the same 2012, as it happened, the 2012 Olympics happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess which players were seen or started making a name for themselves in 2012? By that time, Mohamed Aboutrika was getting to the end of his career. But a certain small boy from Al Kowloon
called Mo Salah
started coming into the picture.
Yeah.
Normally, Mo Salah will never ever go out of Egypt. But as it were, again, the same thing happened, and then he went out of his club in Egypt, then went to Basel, and the rest is history. If you look at the squad of Egyptian players who went out, they are the bedrock of the senior national team today. Now, how does that affect the CHAN? What it meant was that suddenly the best Egyptian talents, two things happened. They either were going out of the country, or if they were playing for Ali and Zamalek, there was a reticence to put them in the CHAN national team. Which brings me to my second point, Nathan and Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
From the very beginning, the nation of Egypt has not taken the CHAN seriously. From the very beginning.
Okay.
Why? Because the premise of Issa Hayatou putting together the CHAN was what? To give locally based players who were not getting a look in their main national teams a chance to be seen by the world. Isn't it?
Yes, it was.
So that if you were Nathan Kwao and you were so good for Hearts or Kotoko or Olympics, but because the Black Stars has a very established culture of only selecting or usually selecting 95 to 96% of their players from foreign-based teams, your only hope was to play for what is now the Black Galaxies, or what used to be called the CHAN B national team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is Egypt. In Egypt, for many, many years, for about 30 years or so, the best national team players play for the national team anyway, the main national team. The very fabric of the main Egyptian A national team for a very long time was made up of, as we have established, players who feature for Zamalek and Al Ahly.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that is the case, they did not need the CHAN tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Please, you understand what I'm saying?
I'm following. We are following closely.
So, from the very beginning, Egypt have never taken the CHAN seriously, and anytime they have qualified for the CHAN, that is why, if you trace from the time we started taking the CHAN seriously, when Milovan Rahivat used the CHAN to be the proving ground for the then Black Stars who went to the 2010 AFCON and the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah.
Egypt, between 2009, the next one in 2011, and so on, all the way to very, very, very much later, very recently, they never took the best players and put it in the CHAN, which is why their performances in the competition have always been subpar. So that is the reason why Egyptian national teams do not do well in the CHAN, because they have never taken it seriously as an institution. Now, the second part answer is this. The best players in Egypt, typically, from then, this is before 2010 when they won their last AFCON.
Yeah.
And now, have always taken part in the CAF Confederations Cup or the CAF Champions League. Agreed?
Yep, agreed.
They have always taken part in the CAF Confederations Cup and the Champions League.
Yes.
So what it has meant is that because of the football workload to take part in the CHAN, it was always in conflict in terms of the schedule with the CAF Champions League or the CAF Confederations Cup.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. The CAF Champions League this year will start around the 19th of September.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
As we speak now, Ali and Zamalek and the representatives of Egypt are in pre-season, getting ready for the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup.
Okay.
Which is far more important to them than the CHAN.
Yeah.
So they are not going to give you their best players. So again, that is why Egypt does not do well at the CHAN. This is the historical antecedent. And so until two things happen, until CAF put a premium on the CHAN and put, just like FIFA did with the Club World Cup, an insane amount of money into the prize-winning pot for the CHAN, but countries like Egypt will never ever take it seriously because it's conflict with the football schedule and it will do them more than good. So that's it.
All right, Gary, thank you so much for that. I think now we have clarity and we can put this matter to bed. Gaza, thanks so much, and we'll see you later. All right, so that was Gary Al-Smith, our team, giving us some great context as to why Egypt don't do well in the CHAN. So they don't take it seriously. They think it's a nuisance. There's context to it. Lots of the good local players are moving out. So even if they present a squad, it will still not be good enough to compete with the rest of the competition. But to those who have sent teams to Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, yesterday we had 2 semi-finals, one involving Madagascar and Sudan, the other involving Morocco and Senegal. Ray, you want to say something before I go to David?
Yeah, so I've been dealing with a bit of back and forth from a lot of people who disagree with my submission earlier.
Yes. And on what exactly?
Fair point. When you ask the question that does CHAN tell the story of your country having a good league?
Yes.
You know, that was when I brought in the Egypt example. Look, if Egypt has the best league on the continent, possibly with the Zamaleks and all, the Al Ahlis and all, if they're not winning the CHAN, then it defeats my argument that time. Okay. But then again, a lot of people have drawn my attention to the fact that, well, you cannot say CHAN is a true reflection of a country's league in terms of the strength. Because if Madagascar is qualifying to the semi-finals, indeed, what kind of league are they playing in Madagascar? If Sudan is playing in the semi-finals, what kind of league are they playing in Sudan? Senegal, what's the quality of the league? What is it at that level where you would say, well, all these 3 teams are in the semi-finals of the CHAN tournament because they have a very good league. So again, it defeats the argument that. But I was focusing on the winners. The winners, or the most consistent winner, Morocco, can give credence to that argument that the winners of the
somebody said they have 2 titles. DRC has 2 titles.
Yes. So somebody can say, well, DRC at the time when they won it, the first time they had the likes of Tresor and Putu play for TP Mazembe, were doing well in Africa and all. So that argument also holds. So there are 2 arguments here. Morocco, to a certain extent, DRC would give credence to that fact.
Okay.
And then, when you turn it the other way around, the likes of Madagascar, Kenya, Senegal, they may not have the strongest of leagues.
Okay.
But they've made it this far in the competition, which again means that, well, you may not have the best league, but again, you can go find the chance.
Okay. Let's go to Kenya now. Let's speak with David Kinyanjui from Sporty FM in Kenya. David, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing fantastic. It's looking good in Nairobi today. It's a bit sunny.
Wonderful. Apologies for keeping you on for long. Some of these conversations sometimes, can take an interesting turn. Your thoughts on the 2 semi-finals? We first had Madagascar and Sudan playing out 120 minutes. In the end, it was Madagascar who made it through. I dare say it was a bit of a stunner, but they are in the final. They edged Sudan 1-0 in extra time.
Yeah, a bit of a cagey affair, to be honest. I was doing a watch along on Sporty FM. I almost slept, but then again, it was a semi-final. But I mean, it was a very cagey affair. The 2 teams are strong. Sudan is a very strong side. They are very compact. They are not easy to break down, and it went long like that till extra time. And they conceded in the last 4 minutes because the goal was scored in the 16th minute by Madagascar, who are down to 10 men. They have this crazy resilience whenever they go down to 10 men. I think they've been watching a lot of Kenyan matches because, we do well when you are 10 men. But that's all they needed. A team that finished 3rd in the 2022 edition, now the least they can do in this one is finish 2nd because they're in the final. So it's fantastic for them. I understand there might be a national holiday in Madagascar. I don't know how true that was. There was that report circulating yesterday. So it's very good for them. It's proper improvement for a team that is participating in that 2nd edition.
Great. The second semi-final, that was a bit more of an interesting one. Senegal won Morocco won. Then they went to the penalty shootout, and the Moroccans prevailed. Morocco they've had a very interesting journey in the competition, including that loss to Kenya somewhere in the group stage. Yeah. What did you make of their performance? They managed to prevail in the shootout. You know, they conceded first, fought back, dragged it to the shootout, and they emerged on the right side of the result.
Absolutely. Morocco are fantastic. The way you watch them play, the way they move the ball, attacking wise, they are fantastic. They know how to control the midfield as well. They're also good defensively. I know we beat them in Kenya, but you know, it's a different ball game altogether when you get to the knockout rounds. But they are very good. They consider from a corner kick. And, you know, Senegal looked like a threat in set pieces. No lie. They had some very tall dudes, and they looked like a proper threat whenever they get those set pieces in terms of free kicks and corner kicks. But Morocco handled them. And, you know, the resilience also to come from behind and score and push the game all the way. I will be honest, I don't know how that game remained 1-1 after I think the 23rd minute when Morocco scored the equalizer all the way to 120th minute. I was expecting to see a lot of goals because it was a bit more open compared to the previous semi-final that you had just watched. But Morocco looked fantastic. And for me, I'm looking at them thinking they might win their third CHAN, tournament, honestly, because they are fun to watch. You enjoy watching them play, the way they move the ball, they attack the set pieces as well, their defensive resilience. They are a good side. They are a good side. They have experience as well. I mean, they have won it twice already, so they know how to do these things. So it's a very good side. I will not be surprised if they win it again.
So now that, the semis are out of the way, it really comes down to the final on Saturday. Before that, there's a third and fourth place game. But just your thoughts on Madagascar. They've made the final. How do you think they are going to handle themselves? Some people say that when some of these teams get to finals, they can either wilt or they'll stand up to the occasion and play a game of their lives. Do they have, when you watched them yesterday, do they have what it takes to put brakes on the Moroccans, or the quality of the Moroccans will shine through on Saturday?
It's going to be a tricky one. It's going to be a tricky one because Morocco are very good, like I just said. But when you look at Madagascar, there's something about them. When you consider the first game of the tournament, their first game of the tournament, I think they went down to 10 men early on in the match. But they held on all the way and did not concede a goal after that. So they are quite good at that. Even when you look how they played against Kenya, they knew they were playing in Nairobi, of course, where they are playing against, the hosts. But they were very solid. They could let Kenya pile on the pressure, and then they could look to break on the counter-attack. They never broke down defensively. They are very good. Also yesterday, when they were playing against Sudan, they went down to 10 men, but you could never say like Sudan got an advantage even though they are man superior. Sudan never looked like they are man up on Madagascar. Madagascar look like they still have 11 men on the pitch. So they know how to maintain their defensive solidity and their shape and still maintain their compactness. And maybe this goes down to their coach, who's very good as well. So it's going to be a tough one. A team that is hard to break down like Madagascar vis-a-vis a team that is very good and fluid like Morocco. It's two contrasting styles, and I think that's what you want to see in a final. And we just can't wait to see what comes out on top. Is it the fluidity of Morocco, or the compactness of Madagascar? But if Madagascar wins this one, bro, it's going to be big for them. It's going to be big for them, honestly. But again, I don't think they will win this one. But, I mean, anything happens in the final. It's almost a 50-50 kind of match.
Okay. We'll see. The final is on Saturday. We'll speak on Friday. And I'd like to get your thoughts on Friday on how fans are being mobilized to go and watch that final, because that final is in Nairobi. So keep an eye on that. And then Friday morning when we speak, I'd like to hear how fans are being mobilized to go watch that final, which will be played in Nairobi. David, thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll speak again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. That was David Kinyanjui joining us from Sporty FM Nairobi, giving us some interesting thoughts on the two CHAN semi-finals. Morocco beating Senegal 5-3 on penalties, and Madagascar edging Sudan 1-0. They scored that goal in the 116th minute, and it was enough to send them through to their first CHAN final. Let's see how the Malagasy will fare against the mighty Moroccans over the weekend in the final of the CHAN tournament. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. You can send me your comments 054-257-1061 054-257-1061. All right, we'll go through some of your comments in a bit. But the Black Star squad was named yesterday. So you can send your thoughts and comments. In addition to the squad, there was also the announcement of the Black Stars itinerary. The Black Stars itinerary, okay? The Black Stars itinerary for the game against the game against Chad and Mali, because the World Cup qualifiers will resume in September. Okay, in terms of the squad, Ray,
Yeah.
I think let's run through the squad. We should go through the squad.
Yeah, let's go through the squad.
Okay, so goalkeepers, Lawrence Atizigi, Joseph Annan, and Benjamin Asari. Lawrence Atizigi of St. Gallen, Joseph Annan, St. Patrick's Athletic, and Benjamin Asari of Accra Hearts of Oak. Defenders, Gideon Mensah of AJ Auxerre in France, and Derek Arthur Cohn, who plays for Union Berlin.
The star boy.
Mohamed Salisu, who plays for AS Monaco. Salisu's inclusion really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. He hasn't had a lot of minutes for Monaco. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's we'll have to see how it plays out. Jerome Opoku, Istanbul Başakşehir, Alexander Jiku, Fenerbahce, Jonas Ajete, FC Basel. Some people say FC Basel. Tariq Lamptey, Brighton and Hove Albion, Caleb Irenchi, FC North Shireland. So those are the defenders. Midfielders, Elisha Owusu, AJ Auxerre, Mo Kudus, Tottenham Hotspur, Ibrahim Osman, AJ Auxerre, Ibrahim Suleimana, Atalanta, Thomas Partey, Villarreal, and Abdul Salih Samed, OGC Nice. And the forwards, Antoine Semenyo, AFC Bournemouth, Kamaldeen Suleimana, Atalanta, Joseph Pinto, LA Galaxy, Jerry Afriyie, RAAL La Louvière in Belgium, Jordan Ayew, Leicester City, Christopher Bonsuban, Al Qadsiya, and Iñaki Williams, Athletic Club de Bilbao. So those are the players that Otoado has named. Mm-hmm. Ray, I don't know if you have any comments.
Oh, well, let me say good morning to team manager, Black Stars team manager, Aminu Shadu. He's dragging me into all sorts of corners this morning, but I refuse to be tempted. Aminu, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Nathan, very, very good team, I must say. I think that Motoado has done a bit of homework on the squad. He's brought in a lot of players, or a few players we saw play at the Unity Cup, and you were at that tournament, you saw the boys.
Yes.
He's brought in some of these boys to give him options on the bench and also options in positions where we've seen the Black Stars struggle in recent times. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you look at the goalkeeping department. I think that without doubt, Benjamin Asari has given himself a lot of push and has put himself in a position where we can confidently say that on any match here for the Stars, based on his performances in the last few games he's played for the Stars, he would be the man to start in post for the Stars. Lawrence Atizigi, as always, has been part of this team, knows the team very well, has lots of experience with the team. If you are looking for a goalkeeper who could start ahead of Benjamin Asari, it's him. okay, because of how long he's been with the team. So, really, no question marks about it. Joseph Annan, we are told, has been very good for St. Patrick's Athletic.
Okay.
I was hoping that at the Unity Cup, he was going to be given the nod to actually start ahead of Benjamin Asare, so we also see what he can do. But he didn't get the chance to start for the Stars in those 2 games. But without doubt, based on his performance at St. Patrick, if you are looking at a goalkeeper who's consistent, a goalkeeper who plays regularly, you'd pick him ahead of Wollacott, who's been shipping in goals, 6, 5, 7 goals in games.
when did he concede 6, 5, and 7?
So in terms of the goalkeeping department, I don't think Otto could have looked beyond some of these goalkeepers. Okay. Then you go back to defense. Gideon Mensah, Oxer, Mohamed Salisu, Monaco, Jerome Opoku, Alexander Jiku, Jonas Ajete Basel, Tariq Lamptey, Brighton, Caleb Rienchi. Nathan, the only player who comes in that we may not have seen is Derek Atakon. Okay. Aside that, all the other players we've seen with the Black Stars, we've seen around the Black Stars. Caleb Rienchi, we saw him play for the Stars in the Unity Cup. Excellent player. So he can do a good job on the right-hand side of defense. So I think that every other player in there, Mohamed Salisu, we all know his quality, despite the fact that game time has been few and far between for him at Monaco this season. Even last season, I think that we know his quality. And when he's around the Black Stars, we know what he brings defensively. Yeah, so again, in defense, I don't see any other player outside who should have been part that Otto hasn't brought in. And, you know, this player, Derek Atakon, I'm told is a player who has shown or is a quality player. Okay? And those who have watched him will tell you that over the last 4 years, he's a player who's shown a lot of brilliance in terms of how composed he is, how solid he is, how good he is on the ball, how skillful he is on the ball, the kind of stamina he has. I'm told that he's a real baller, a proper baller. Okay? And he's a player who's played for the Germany under-17 team. So for you to even get a chance to play at youth level for the German national team, clearly, it means you have bags of potential. And I think that Otto would have done his homework well, looked at this boy, and figured out his best position, which is left back, and what he can do for his team. Okay. And added him to the squad. So, again, that addition doesn't surprise me, based on what I've heard from people who know him and people who have watched him play. These days he plays for Union Berlin. But his heart stinks in Turkey or no. But he's a player who has bags of potential. Elisha Owusu, Mohamed Kudus, Ibrahim Osman, Ibrahim Suleimana, Thomas Partey, Abdul Salih Samet. These are midfielders we know. These are midfielders who, again, have had stinks with the Black Stars. We know what almost every midfielder in the squad can do. Elisha Owusu to Kudus, we know what they can do. We know the quality they possess. So again, apart from injury, that could have ruled out certain players we may be expecting. Maybe Ashimeru. I do not think that there's any player in here who shouldn't be part of this midfield. Okay. These are players we've seen. And these are players who are performing. Ibrahim Suleimana for Atalanta, we've seen him perform. Mohamed Kudus for Tottenham, we've seen him this season already. Thomas Partey, we all know his quality. No need to explain. Abdul Salih Samet, we saw him at Lens before he had his back patch, had to go to Sunderland. Now at Nice, and we've seen him play under a coach he knows. So trying to get his career back, but without doubt, Salih is a fantastic midfielder. And so if you are looking for maybe any other player, you're possibly looking at Sibo, who we haven't seen too much of. And to be fair to Otto may say he hasn't seen Sibo play an awful lot of games. And so you'd give him time to grow in the Spanish La Liga. And then we see what he can actually bring to the table. We saw him play against Real Madrid. Very decent player. But again, if he had been added to the team, we would question Otuado and say, well, how many times have you seen him play? He hasn't been a key member of this team as well. So you want to give him some time to develop in the La Liga. And then if the performance is consistent, then he can get a call up to the Black Stars. I mean, there's still room for more additions in that midfield. And Otoado, if Sibo is the man, he'll bring him in. If Ashimero is fit and ready to play, I don't think that he'll be an omission from the squad. Then you look at the attack. Antoine Semenyo, Kamaldeen Sulemana, Joseph Pencil, Jerry Efrie, Jordan Ayew, Christopher Bonsuba, Inaki Williams. We saw Christopher Bonsuba in the Unity Cup. Fantastic player. His marauding runs forward, his ability to deliver end products and all. I think that he's a decent player. It's one player who impressed me a lot at the Unity Cup. You look at Inaki Williams, no need to explain. He's had his own issues with the squad, scoring lots of goals, again, positioning issues. I'm sure all of those things would come with time. So Inaki Williams, great addition. He puts fear in defenders, obviously, and so he has to be there. Jordan Ayew, captain of the side. Jerry Efrie, young player. You want to find a way to blood in the young players, give them good experience when they play with the regular players. So they're more established players. So he needs time to actually hone his talent. So good addition to the squad. Joseph Pencil, we've seen him burst into life for LA Galaxy this season, scoring beautiful goals. I saw his goal against Inter Miami. I think that his come back to form. He's looking more like the Joseph Pencil we've always known. And then Kamaldeen Sulemana, he now has the opportunity to shine again at Atalanta, but his quality has never been in doubt. And then you talk about Antoine Semenyo, who needs no introduction. So you look at the squad again. The only player
should be there, the person who's Isahaku should have been there. He's not ready to join the team. Fair enough. If it's available, he comes in. Nyama is injured. If it's available, he comes in. So everybody that should be here and is available is here.
Is here. So for the first time, I would not have reason to question Otoado's squad. And I think not too many people question Otoado's squad because we've seen these players. We know what each and every one. We know what each and every one of them can do, and so not too many question marks about the squad.
What I will say though is that but I just like the consistency. The last few call-ups have looked really similar, right? The call-ups to the games before the Unity Cup. The Unity Cup squad itself, it contains some of these guys, but that was to be expected. A lot more newer faces, but when the quote-unquote serious games are about to be played, then we expect or we have seen a lot more of the regulars. So I'm happy with the consistency in the call-ups. Michael Asaibredi is joining us. Michael, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good. How about you?
Yes, we are fine. We are fine. Your thoughts on the Black Star squad as has been named or as named by Otoado from yesterday? 3 goalkeepers. How many defenders? I see 8 defenders there, 6 midfielders, and then you have 7 or so forwards or attackers. Your thoughts on the team as named by Otoado?
Well, I'll start from where you ended about the consistency bit. I think this is a squad process for him, and he expects to have a trusted core of a team, players that he trusts and players that understand how he wants them to play in the national team setup. And so if you just look through the squad, you find out that there are players who have earned consistent call-ups under Otoado who dominate like 90-95% of the squad list. But in general, I think Otoado is trying to use a stone to kill 2 birds here. What he's doing is that in as much as he's inviting the players that he trusts and knows, he's also giving a window of opportunity for players that we haven't seen before to have an opportunity to assess them, not in a typical match scenario, but also in training. Most of the times, call-ups like this are not just for match playing purposes, but also to allow the players to get very close to allow the coaches, to get very close to some of these players to assess them, to know whether they fit into what he wants to do. So I think it is similar for players like Derek Kong, who has been invited. It's a player who has not really had much stability in terms of his club career. He was on the books of Galatasaray last season. He was loaned to Werder Bremen, played. At a point in time, he got an injury. And then from late February through March till now, he's not really enjoyed consistent football. But he's a talent that Ghana can look at. One, he's a utility player, can play in multiple positions as a left back and also as a left midfielder. And the left back position is actually a position that Ghana has actually looked at reinforcing ever since Baba Rahman left. we've not really trusted Gideon Mensah to be the one to do the job for us on a consistent basis. There are days where he shows up, he does very well, and then there are days where he just goes off the scene. He doesn't deliver as expected. And so if a coach feels he has an opportunity to try it out in training sessions to see where he will fit in as regards that role, I think it is very much positive. And Derek Horn will get the opportunity to impress the Black Stars technical team during the training sessions. And if he's fit, then maybe the coach can give him some minutes. Also, it offers a window of opportunity for Abdul Saleh Samet to win back his lost position in the Black Stars. If you check for the mid positions, in some time past, there were complaints that we need to restrict it because that was when the likes of Monado and then some couple of players were still getting call-ups when we felt they were not enjoying consistent minutes at club level. This time around, we've thrown in some new faces who have proven that if given the opportunity to prove and then deliver, they will convince us and be better than players that we've tried. For instance, Ibrahim Sulemana, who has given us that if he's consistent enough and we use him enough, then he will deliver quality for us from the middle of the pack. So I think for a player like Saleh Samet, he gets an opportunity to try out again and prove that he belongs there. And it couldn't have come in any game like the doubleheader against Chad and against Mali. Come, train, prove yourself. If you are worthy of a selection into the final team or even on the bench, then you get to play for Ghana and then do what you're supposed to do. Tariq Lamptey is back into the fold after injury affected his involvement in previous call-ups. He also has to prove a point, deliver accordingly. So I think that the squad list is a perfect blend of players who have been in the team for a consistent period and very few players who have been introduced into the team to prove that they belong in the Black Star setup. So I think so far it's so very good. But I'm particularly happy for Christopher Bonsuba. It shows that whatever work he put in during the Unity Cup has paid off and is convinced the handlers that he's somebody that they can trust for the long term, especially considering the injury layoff of someone like Ernest Nyam.
Interesting stuff, Michael. Kelvin is here, and we are having a okay. So there are two names that are not in the squad. One is Abdul Fattah Isahaku. Now, the GFA's comms director Henry Asante-Chum, has been reported by 3 Sports, had this to say about Abdul Fattah Isahaku. Quote: "As for Abdul Fattah Isahaku, Otto and his team are pleased to see him back in action. The medical teams from Ghana and Leicester City have had extensive discussions about the player and have decided to give him time. One reason for this cautious approach is that the upcoming match in N'Djamena is on an AstroTurf, and the pitch may not be suitable for Isahaku's return following his recent ACL injury. However, given the circumstances surrounding his long layoff, they are cautious about rushing his return." End quote. These are quotes attributed to Henry Asante-Chum, who is the GFA's communications director, on why Abdul Fattah Isahaku is not in the team. Okay, listeners. So the GFA, through Henry Asante-Chum, has explained that Abdul Fattah Isahaku suffered an ACL. The match against Chad is on an AstroTurf. The medical teams of Ghana and Leicester have sat down to discuss and have come to a conclusion that they cannot put Isahaku back on an AstroTurf right after an ACL injury. This feeds into the literature or the sports science literature that says that AstroTurfs are not good for player knees. So they say that if he goes back to play on an AstroTurf, it will not help his knee. So they've decided to sit him out for now. I think it makes sense. The gentleman just came back from an ACL injury. Nobody can tell me that we have to rush Abdul Fattah Isahaku back into a competitive game, especially on an AstroTurf. No, that I disagree with. The other bit has to do with Kwesi Appiah. Ray, what has the GFA said about Kwesi Appiah?
So the comms director of the Ghana Football Association, Henry Asante-Chum, is quoted as saying that the technical team has been monitoring him and is impressed with his work rate. Although they opted to maintain the core of the team following recent performances against Chad and Madagascar, Sibo is still on the radar and will get an opportunity soon. That's what the communications director of the Ghana Football Association has put out.
Okay. Kelvin, you seem to have a slight issue with Kwesi Appiah's absence. Ghanaians, for context, Kwesi Appiah plays for Real Oviedo.
Yeah.
He and the team qualified to La Liga.
Yes.
Right? And he's been playing. He's been getting minutes.
So this is first season.
His first season playing in the La Liga. He's a central midfielder, I think a defensive midfielder.
Yes, that's correct.
He was a gentleman you say was trying to get Mbappe's jersey.
Mbappe for his jersey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was begging Mbappe for his jersey.
Right. So if you want something to watch concerning La Liga, Ray, hey, and then when people get there, they say I'm the mischievous one. You, Ray, you are such a problem child. You, anyway, Calvin, you seem to have a slight issue with Kwesi Appiah's absence. Why?
Well, I think we've seen a number of new players in there, and I don't know if players should get to the highest level and compete, regularly before they are called. For me, if someone is even at the highest level but is not competing on a regular basis, but someone is in a lower level and is very much consistent and his quality is well, known, I think we should always be looking for that player. It's more like telling me when Barroso was at AS Roma, Antoniano wasn't playing for AS Roma, but he was better, miles better than him. But Annan was actually playing for us. Same thing happened when Daniel Pare thought he was at Real Madrid Castilla, but Inkum was being allowed to play. I don't know, fine. Maybe the coaches know their style of play, how they want to play, and then they feel that these are the names that they think should play for the senior national team. But I think for someone who's been very much consistent for a club like Real Oviedo, how they managed to qualify, if you see him in games, I've watched all the 2 games he's played, and he hasn't been bad at all. Even against Real Madrid, Alonso was still questioning his team. They weren't overly dominant in that midfield, though at the rear in defense, you could see improvement from the Real Madrid team. He even had a number of opportunities where his effort, went a bit wide, of the target. But fine, I think this is good. This is a good squad enough. Hopefully, he's able to keep up his form and then get to that level where Kututuado and the rest of the technical team would be very much impressed with him and then allow him an opportunity to play for the Black Stars. It was the same thing with Joseph Annan. When he was at West Ham, he was deputizing at West Ham. But nobody was willing to invite him. When we were struggling to have confidence in any goalkeeper until Benjamin Asari in the last 2 or 3 games has given us some bit of promise that yes, he's a bit safe for us in post. Joseph Annan was there. I'm not sure anybody, thought of or, had that idea. Let's bring on this guy. But finally, he's into the team. I see him as one for the future. His height, his agility. Nobody can play in the Premier League, especially, a team like West Ham United and then, be second choice goalkeeper until when he thought no, there was no way he was going to get past even Fabianski, let alone Ariola, who was brought in later on. So he just had to, quit and leave. Yeah, that was, I think, when Kudus went in his first season, he was there. But in the second season, he left and then he was left with Kudus. Generally, I think it's a good squad. The left back, we've been hearing a lot about him. That is Derek Arthur Kohn, Union Berlin. Wait to see, because just like Michael was saying, I think our laterals have been a problem for us in the last couple of years. Gone were the days where we could just blink an eye and we know that this was the guy going to play at right back for us. It got to a point the likes of Aziz Ansah were not even getting call-ups because John Pinson will play and then Dankwe will be on the bench. Our left back, Hansedu Sape will play. Adukwe Popo is there. Habib wasn't getting the slot until Doya Ratome Djokovic got that confidence. Let me put this guy in there, and he's going to play. I think it's one area going forward. At right back, good to see Tariq back, because if you look at his quality and what he offers, it's greater than what we see from the other right backs. And for Caleb Yuenchi to be pinned down there as a defender, we know him to be a midfielder.
Yeah, his actual position is a midfielder.
Yes, you know, I don't know why we've profiled him in that position. Yeah. And you look at the midfielders, Ibrahim Osman has been pinned as a midfielder. Osman is also a forward because he plays as an outside forward. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why he's been put in there. If Abdul Saleh Samed is called, I think Kwesi Appiah should be called. Okay. How consistent has Samed been? What is the quality that he has that Zibo doesn't have, or Kwesi Appiah doesn't have? Mm-hmm. I don't see any sort of difference because he's declined, and he's now trying to pick himself up with OGC knees, going back to France. Yeah. Because his time, fine, injuries and all that, but even before the injuries, in France,
he had dipped.
You know, it was bad.
Yeah.
And he came at Sunderland, he just couldn't find his feet. So if you are talking about still monitoring a player like Sebo, and then you tell me that Samed should still be part of this team, like, it raises lots of questions. You know, that gives the difference between, you know, some other national teams and then others. If a player loses form, you walk out of the team. You won't be called. One look as Digne was playing he had lost form. Mm-hmm. He wasn't being invited to the French national team, but just when he picked up form last season,
he got invited.
He got invited once again.
Yeah.
It's same with Spain. When you are playing and you are not playing well, you sit on the bench. Others play.
You see.
You get it. When you sit on the bench and others will play. So I think that we should use the same format. And then be inviting players based on what merit and their current performance. Fine. There are times national team coaches have exceptional decisions that they make that, oh, come on, this is a player that, whether you like it or not, he plays an exceptional role for me that I cannot leave him out. And they do come and perform. Would you say that in the current shape of the Black Stars, or the current Otoado Black Stars, Samed is ranks higher than Ibrahim Suleiman and Elisha? No, let alone Thomas Partey. If he doesn't rate higher than any of these, then I think that slot should be given to Kwesi Appiah.
Okay. Interesting argument.
You see, that is where I disagree.
No, why would
then by the same argument, Mohamed Salisu shouldn't be in the squad.
Well,
do you have options? Do you have options?
I saw Salisu's name, remember when I saw Salisu's name, I remarked that Salisu hasn't had minutes in a very long time.
So he should give me options.
But do you know why? Nathan,
you should give me. Do you have options?
So now, Nathan, let me bring.
No, do you have options?
Of course.
Give me an option.
Of course we have.
Give me.
No, in terms of that midfield.
The defense that you are talking about.
Ray, could this squad, hold on.
Nathan.
Could this squad have been done without Mo Salisu?
He could have.
Could we have overlooked Mo Salisu?
The coach could have. But again, every coach, knowing players, knowing what players can offer, whether they are playing consistently or not, would make a decision in favor of a player he knows and can trust his ability and can trust his quality. And that's why Mo Salisu is in the squad. Otuado knows him very well. He knows what the player can do.
And what is
he knows
offered,
how he can deliver.
And I side with you. I side with you on that. I side with you on that. I'm adding up to the Salisu thing. Salisu has been important to the Black Stars in the last couple of games. Very important.
Yes.
And when he comes, he does his bit or his best for us. But would you say same for Salis?
Nathan Salis. By the time Salis joined the Black Stars, he was playing for Lons. He was one of their best players.
Yes.
He was the real deal in that Lons team. He had a few injuries here and there, but the coach knows the quality of Salis. Okay, he knows what Salis can offer. He's played with him before. He's used him in the squad before. He knows the guy and what he can do when he's not injured, what he can do when he's on form. Indeed, this season, he's played for Nice twice. Last season, he went to Sunderland. And, you know, to be fair to him, he was injured and couldn't play for Sunderland up until January, when he made his first appearance for them against Stoke.
And how many games since then?
And he went on to play a couple of games for Sunderland. Before moving back to OGC list. And the player, we all know his ability. We all know what he can do.
We don't know.
Look,
what does he do? What does he do? How exceptional is
Kwesi Appiah people are clamoring for? You see, you people let me end Kwesi Apppiah's career on this show.
Well, end his career. Can you end anybody's career?
Let's go to it.
Can you end anybody's career?
There's no way. Before we proceed,
when you people do things
there's
like
no
this,
need.
No, wait.
There's no need
when you do things
to
like
say
this,
that you are going to end somebody's career.
No, wait. When you people do this, when you people do things like this, people may never get to play for the Black Stars, because when we put some of the stats out, no coach will want to call him to the Black Stars. Look, Sibo at 27 started playing in Armenia for Arautu. Then moved to Albania to go and play for Skendebel. From there, he went to the lower tier in Spain to go and play for UD Ibiza. Ask me how many games he played there.
How many?
Then he hopped to Betis B, again in the lower tier. Stayed there, moved to Amoribieta. Played 3 seasons there. In fact, 1 season he never really played. Injuries here and there. He never played. He played 2 seasons for Amoribieta consistently. Then went to Oviedo. He's been in the lower tier in Spain consistently, playing for 4 different clubs. Okay. Then after that, he moved to Real Oviedo. Now, Nathan.
Oviedo, how many seasons? Tell us.
No, this is second season at Oviedo.
Thank you.
Nathan,
and in the first season, how many matches did he play?
Notable contribution as a player is yellow cards. So, during his stay in all these 5 teams that he played in Spain,
yes,
he's been able to rack up a whooping 34 yellow cards.
From how many games? From how many games?
If it is Buga you want to play.
From how many games?
In his last 2 seasons, playing for Oviedo and playing for Amoribieta, he racked up 18 yellow cards. Just 2.
18 yellow cards from how many games? How many games in a season?
And I'm saying that, look.
How many? For a DM,
Nathan,
for a DM, 18 yellow cards from 2 seasons is a problem for you.
If I am Otoado and I'm looking at my Black Stars team,
Raymond,
and I'm looking at players who may not get me red cards, or players who may not endanger my team or endanger my shape because of unnecessary yellow cards, I may not be looking in Sibo's direction immediately.
How many yellow cards was Suleiman Muntai racking up?
Do you know Sibo?
Fair point. Ray,
So today, if I have to pick between Salis and Sibo,
no problem.
Kevin is telling me I should pick Sibo ahead of Salis.
Michael, please come in. I'm sure you have a comment.
Okay, so Calvin, this is the rationale behind Salis being selected ahead of someone like Kwesi Sibo. Salis played in the Unity Cup. He started that first game against Nigeria. And he had 20 minutes in the last game. And then at club level, his situation has improved. He's fit and available now. And he's being used by Nice. He started the first game. He played the first game for them. He started from the bench. And he started the last game they played in. So in terms of consistency, he's back to playing club football. He's active. And then in terms of a national team, there is a certain knowledge that Otuado has about him that he does not have about Kwesi Sibo. And as I explained earlier, coaches will love to work with players who understand them, especially when it is that they are embarking on assignments where they need to get maximum points and move on. They will not want to try too many new players. So if you check through the squad list, I don't think there are too many new players. The only new player you can actually point to is Derek Kong. And even in his position, there is somebody who already starts. So it means he's going to assess him in training. Now, one key position of Ghana has to do with the midfield. And that is a position where we barely change. Maybe the only new addition in the midfield in recent times has been Ibrahim Suleimana. But we've mostly stuck with players that coaches know and feel they can work with within the short period of time to achieve a certain result. So Elisha Owusu has already been in the team for consistent periods. He's been part of the Black Stars circa 2022 till now. You have Mohamed Kudus, already part of the team. Ibrahim Osman is an attacking midfielder as used by the coaches. They feel he will operate there. You have Thomas Partey and Abdul Salih Sameh. So it gives me the impression that Otuado will love to work with experience, especially in the midfield positions. Players who know him, players who understand the national team setup and won't need to take time to settle in. For Kwesi Sibo, the only thing I can say is that it is much more about the buzz around him. He's playing in the Spanish La Liga. So people will love to see him in the Black Stars. But just as been explained by the GFA, according to the coach read by Nathan and Raymond, it means that he will need to be consistent enough to impress. Then the call-up will come and he will be integrated into the national team setup. But I think these 2 games against Chad and Mali have come quite early for him. He should be encouraged that his name has been mentioned in the FA circles, that he's somebody who's on their radar. And they encourage him to go all out, play consistently, impress. The good thing is that he now plays in a league where a lot of Ghanaians watch. most Ghanaians watch the Premier League, they watch the La Liga. So clearly, it is even giving me the impression that a lot of Ghanaians will watch Kwesi Appiah in the last 6 months than they will for someone like Salis Abdul Samed or Elisha Owusu. So if he plays well and impresses, trust me, definitely he has an advantage over those players in terms of Ghanaians who get to watch him, and the calls for him to get into the team will grow louder than it is now. He needs to be consistent and he needs to perform. That is my opinion.
Well, let's touch on the team's itinerary. Then we can open the phone lines. Ray, do you want to say something?
So let's put on record that the Sibo we are talking about has now arrived in the Spanish La Liga.
No problem.
After spending years in the second tier. Okay. So
Raymond,
if Sibo walks into this team,
Nathan, these are the things that we did, and then Zambia used Katongo and those from China to come and lift AFCON. We did that, and Algeria used players from the Gulf region when the Baghdad, Bunija, and the likes. They came to win the African Nations Cup. And we've seen players. We've seen players who are not playing in the topmost leagues, but when they get into the Black Stars, they give you that sense of arrival and confidence to perform.
That is true.
When Sammy Kofor during his latter days was struggling with the Black Stars, which player slot into that defense and played?
Sheila.
Thank you. Where was he from?
He was from the Ghana Premier League.
Well, can you match it? Can you match it with Spain's second division?
My brother.
No. Very good. There are certain players. They have the quality. Whether fortunately or unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to hit the limelight. But when they do, they give you that sense of quality that you would want. Is the reason why Brazil wouldn't care bringing a player from do I say Brazil, and then we'll be playing ahead of someone who plays in Europe? Is the reason why the Germans won't care bringing a player from maybe Kaiserslautern to come and lead the attack, and then they would have a player who plays for Bayern Munich sitting on the bench. Before Miroslav Klose got to Bayern Munich,
he was playing for Werder Bremen. Is this Kaiserslautern?
But you don't
Kaiserslautern.
Very good.
I'm not sure.
So it's about the quality and what the player offers. It's not about the club.
Okay, Nathan,
Kelvin, to be fair,
it's not about the club. Even if it's about the club. Look at the consistency of the player in recent times. I'm not saying he should come and be a starter. Just as we offer opportunities for
so you think that we should have given him a chance,
giving him a chance to be part of the squad. That is all.
Okay, that's Kelvin. He says that at least he should have been added, so he sees what's happening. Okay, you say no problem.
It is not as if Kwesi Appiah is a 16-year-old who just started playing football and showing brilliance. Kwesi Appiah has been playing in the Spanish lower tier since. Okay, he spent at least 7 seasons there. Okay. The Black Stars collapse. We've been seeing Black Stars collapse since Kwesi Appiah to Chris Ruti, to Milo, to Otto,
and we haven't seen
Kwesi Appiah.
Okay.
All of a sudden, Kwesi Appiah plays 2 games in La Liga. And everybody says Kwesi Appiah should be part of Black Stars. This is shocking to me.
Okay, Ray,
nobody.
Wait, Nathan. Ray, let me ask you.
Maybe you never read about him.
Quality.
Maybe you never read.
No coach saw his quality
until Caleb Yurinchi played at the Unity Cup. Did anyone know about him?
Let's not do this.
No, except for some of the stories.
Exactly.
He was being monitored by coaches.
So
how come Kwesi Appiah?
So who said Kwesi Appiah is not being monitored by coaches? How then does he move from club to club if he's not being monitored by coaches?
I can confidently tell you.
Yes.
Otto has seen Kwesi Appiah. He's seen him play. If Otto needed him, and I'm underlying needed, he would have called him out.
Okay, so fine. And I even made mention that coaches make certain decisions. We are only analyzing the squad to think that who should have been called and then who should have made the squad.
So anywhere close to
when we strip it all down,
yes,
Kelvin is saying that, and I think he's made this point, and I think it's a fair point that there is a large call-up. He thinks the player should have at least been given a look in. Ray, you disagree?
We didn't even take him to Unity Cup.
No problem.
Friendly man.
No problem. So at least what I will say to support either side is I understand Kelvin's point. I think it's a fair point. To play the devil's advocate for Otto Addo, I can say, and if I were in Otuado's position, I'll say, you know what? Let me give this gentleman a few months in La Liga. Let me see how he can fare at this level. Then I can throw him in. So I think I understand both arguments, and both arguments are solid arguments and fair arguments.
If Sibo want to bring, let's go and bring back Wakasu.
Now you are delving into the realms of. Let's look at the team itinerary. So they are supposed to be, or they are arriving 31st of August, 1st September. That's when everybody's supposed to arrive. Monday, 1st September, they have their first training session. Right? The training is open to the media and the public. So note it down. September 1, training session is open to everybody. September 2, training is not open to everybody. Right? Then the team will travel to Chad that same day. Now, when they arrive in Chad...
I have an issue.
Yes, Michael.
So Partey is supposed to report to court on September 2.
Yes.
So, how much of an involvement will he have in the 2 games that we play?
That
is he available for the first game, or we will need him for the game against Mali? I think there should have been clarity put to this, and then we'll get to understand everything. And then, will he be in the right frame of mind to come play for us? I know already the case is ongoing, but he's playing for BRL. We need to understand some of these things so that it doesn't get to the stage where he comes, there is an issue with his performance, and then he suffers abuse on social media. We need to bring clarity to his involvement and how ready he is to play for the national side. I think it is very important he does that.
Well, that's a very, very good point you make. I don't know how much the FA has thought of this. Maybe they've done their own calculation. So the GFF, if you are listening to us and you have answers to Michael's questions, which I think are very fair questions, and it's a question that's on all our minds, the FA, please come and give us a response so we know how much or how involved will Thomas Partey be with the team. If he's supposed to appear in court on the 2nd, okay, can he make it? No. Or he's getting a representative to stand in for him in court. We don't know. So GFA, please give us clarity so we know what's going on.
Nathan, these are matters for the coach. See, Nathan, these are things the coach should be worried about.
So Nathan, we can't
ask. Nathan, you see, sometimes. Nathan,
why should everything be the coach? No.
Nathan, look.
How is it personal?
See, Nathan.
No, how is it personal?
Partey will go to
Ray. No, how is it personal?
How
is that personal?
Ray, I'm a little surprised at your stance.
No.
When this matter came up, you were the first person to say that should I play the tapes for you?
I just said that.
You asked a question about Partey and this matter and his relationship with the national team.
Asked us. I said, with all of these issues, will Otuado call Partey or not?
No problem.
On moral grounds and whatever, feminists, whatever, those were the grounds I stated. But I'm saying that Partey would have had conversations with the manager, confirmed to the manager that, well, coachy, I'll be available for you on the set day.
Okay.
So coach believes that Partey will be available and started him to the squad.
No problem.
You see, when we now try to go and delve into the matters, Partey will be in court. The FA must come and tell us. And it's not everything the FA must tell us.
We are on the edge. We are on the edge of qualifying for World Cup.
I'm saying that. Look, these are matters that Otto should handle behind the scenes. Not everything should come. You see, Nathan, it's a very sensitive matter.
I get it. Michael is only asking a very intelligent question. You seem to think that it is not an important question.
Let's not be entering some of these spaces. Let's leave it for the coach. If we play against Chad and Partey is not there, the coach will communicate that decision to us.
Okay. No problem. Anyway,
Michael wanted to.
Michael. Yes, Michael, please.
I'm coming. Raymond, then it means that with every squad that is announced, we must not have an issue with the squad list because the coach has had his discussions behind the scenes. Are we to believe?
Of course. If the coach decides not to organize a press conference to explain this squad, nobody can do anything.
Okay. So he's
the manager. He's paid to take the decision. He's taking the decision. It's final.
So Michael is asking you something.
Yeah.
So must we not raise concerns about any national team call-up again?
No. You see, if it's concerns about game time, player performance, you know, what has given the player the opportunity to join the Stars. We can ask
the same thing we ask question. You say we should leave it for the coach. It is the coach's decision.
No.
So now why are you going back to tell us that? You see you are contradicting yourself. We ask questions and you said that it is the sole decision of the coach. But now you are telling us that we should ask questions based on performance and the player.
There are two issues here. If the issue concerns footballing matters, what we all know, footballing matters.
Yes.
And we want to ask the coach, coach, this player hasn't played in 2 years. Why have you called him? Footballing issues.
And do you think psychology is in football, Raymond? Isn't psychology in football? Isn't psychology in football?
If the matters go beyond football issues.
Isn't psychology in football?
Personal issues.
Isn't psychology in football?
You would expect that some of these discussions wouldn't be in the public domain.
Isn't psychology in football?
Case in point, this parties matter in court.
Okay, Ray, then if that is the case,
will communicate with the FA and the coach.
Ray, then if that is the case,
that is the matter.
I'm coming. If
so they would give us the explanation when they want, when they are ready.
No problem. So if that is the case, then it means that this Thomas Partey issue that you are saying,
yes,
nobody should discuss it in public again.
Nathan, because of how sensitive the matter is. I think that we should give Partey.
Laughing.
No, you see, Partey should have all the privacy.
No problem.
He deserves around this matter.
No problem.
So all
Michael asked was a question on
Nathan,
his mind.
We all know Partey will go to court. Partey will go to court. Whether he will go there or he won't go, or he will come and join the team and go. All of those discussions. Nathan,
you say they've been had already.
They are non-footballing matters. Let us leave for Auto.
Just proceed. Let's proceed. So, 3rd September, the Black Stars will be in Chad. They'll have their first training session in Chad. And then, Thursday, 4th September, they will play. 5th September is recovery. That according to the FA schedule, recovery session in Accra, which stands to reason that after the Chad game, they are flying back to Accra quickly. So September 5, which is a Friday, is a recovery session. Saturday, so the recovery session which is a training session, is open to the media and public. Saturday 6th September, training at the Accra Sports Stadium. It is not open to the public. Sunday 7th September, training at the Accra Sports Stadium. The first 15 minutes of training is open to the media. And then Monday, 8th September, is game day against Mali. That's at the Accra Sports Stadium. So listeners, this is the itinerary. So if you want to go and watch Black Stars train, note these dates down. September 1 and September 5. September 1 and September 5. Those are the days the Black Stars will train at the Accra Sports Stadium, and those days are open to the public. So if you want to go and watch them train, September 1, September 5. That's according to the GFA. All right, let's take calls for about 5 minutes. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. What do you make of the Black Star squad? The Black Star squad that's been named for the qualifiers. I don't know what you make of the team. Any opinions on the team? Any opinions on the squad? Let us know. Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, I'm fine. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is your man.
Sorry?
Nathan.
Yes.
This is Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, okay, Emmanuel, please go ahead.
So I go Thomas Partey. I thought you had a court issue in 2nd September.
Yes.
So will it be available?
Well, we don't know, to be honest. We all don't know whether his name is in the squad. but we don't know what's going to happen.
Someone does have an issue.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't. His name is in the squad. Yes, it is true. He has a court date on the 2nd. We don't know what's going to happen.
Why don't you have liquidity?
Sorry?
Why will you even take that risk? Because we don't even know the outcome of the draft.
Well,
you're putting the guy in the team.
Again, Emmanuel, we don't know what conversations Partey and the coach and everybody.
Or maybe in his press conference, maybe we'll do this.
Maybe Otto might explain to us. Nobody knows, and Otto is not around. Nobody has been able to reach him for an explanation. So right now, we just have to wait.
That's the country we are in. You can wake up and put any squad without any answer to any question. So it is so.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And how do you call it? Papa is out. Because he's coming back from injury. That's why.
Yes. Yes, according to the GFA, their medical people spoke with Leicester's medical people, and they said he's just coming back from an injury. Plus, the Chad game is on an AstroTurf. They don't think it's good enough for his knee. So
I think that's a good. Yeah, I think that. Okay. After the squad here, we can't say anything. We just with them. We just with them good. Just gonna win the matches for us.
Okay.
We are saying anything except it will be good water. So let's leave them in their blasters.
Okay. All right.
Whatever they do with it, that's the problem.
Okay, Emmanuel, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, have a good day. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. We'll take a few calls and we proceed with the show. Hello.
Good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Osben from Sotu.
All right, please go ahead.
Sometimes we, the callers and the supporters, we behave as if we know much more than the coaches and the administrators. The issue with Partey, I am sure Tuwado has had extensive discussion with the Partey. Moreover, we are playing Chad in the first game, and I believe we can beat Chad even without Thomas Partey. With the two games, the most important one is the game against Mali in Accra, which is about 3 or 4 days after the court issue. So let's leave things as it is. With the SIBO issue, the coaches have given his explanation. He's still monitoring. I believe having a core of the team that has played all this while is best for the team. So please, sometimes we should give opportunities for the coaches to do their work. Fine, we can give our suggestions, criticize when it is necessary. But I believe the players and the coaches know the task at hand. We don't want to go to the World Cup more than the players and the coaches. They are going to earn the money. They are going to earn the fame when they qualify for the World Cup. We will just be happy as Ghanaians, and it will give us the opportunity to even travel to go and watch them. But they know what is at stake now. Thank you and have a good morning.
All right, thank you. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Let me take another caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan. Good morning.
Yes. Otumfo, please go ahead.
Nathan, if this is what the caller that just left the phone, I want to advise this guy and Raymond. See, if that's what they are trying to tell us here, then Nathan, it means pre-match discussing and post-match discussing and everything about football it's needless. I don't know if I'm making sense to you because, come on, all these issues are always open to discussion, and then we debate about it, and then people will also bring their ideas, and there's always this back and forth. It's like Ray is telling us that we should just keep quiet and then watch. Come on, and this guy was saying that the players and the coach need the qualification more than us. They needed the qualification more than us. They went to AFCON without winning a match consistently 2 times. I'm not AFCON 2 times. I went to win really 1 match, and he is telling us that they need the win more than we do. No, we also have every reason to ask questions. So if Ray is telling us that we can't ask questions, then it means we always have to come to behind our TV sets and then watch the game. Because there shouldn't be any sort of pre or post match discussion if that's what they are telling us.
Okay, Otunfo, I get what you mean, but you see what Ray said was in a context. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Ray's context was Ray. It was a particular thing Ray was responding to. Michael Asabredu asked the question that Partey has a court date on the 2nd of September. What does that mean in relation to all that we are doing? Partey's name is in the squad. And then Ray's point was that on this particular sensitive matter, he believes that the coach and Partey's people may have had a conversation. So Partey's name appearing in the squad is not by chance. Maybe they know what they are doing. So let us just forget that bit and talk about other things. So it's not necessarily saying that we can't say other. Of course, I mean, nobody can stop us from talking about the Black Star squad and all of that.
Yeah, rightly so, yeah.
So even though I disagree with Ray, what I'll say, to be fair to him, his comment was in this context that this is a sensitive matter. Otuado, if he has done this, he knows why. And he probably knows a reason why he has named Partey, despite the fact that there is a court date on the 2nd of September.
And I also feel Michael's question was very relevant.
Yes, and I agree with Michael's question 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, nobody from the FA or Otuado is here to answer that question. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I agree with you. I agree with Michael, and I agree with Raymond too. So I agree with all the angles.
Well, I think we are on the same frequency. If that's what he's saying.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me take one last caller and then we proceed with the rest of the show. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kufridia.
All right. Please go ahead, Nana.
I side with Raymond. I think the managers of the Black Stars know now. So they are decision. And it's 2 games. I mean, you go to court and you may have opportunity to play for Ghana during the Mali game. So I think it's a fair decision. We should not, talk a lot about it. It's very sensitive. So let's leave it to the coaches, the managers of the Black Stars.
Okay. All right. Thank you. 8:57. We'll pause the calls for now. It's 8:58. We have other things to talk about. Talk a bit about the UEFA Champions League qualifiers. We have to talk about Police Ladies. They play today in the Wafubi qualifiers for the CAF Women's Champions League. But I have great news for you. Now, on the from the 25th to the 31st of August at the Promfest Park on Mandela Road in Pram, there's something amazing that will happen. It's the 2025 Promfest. 2025 Promfest. Come and enjoy captivating workshops for both young and old people, great food from incredible vendors, live performances from great musicians such as Stoneboy, Famir, EL, and many others, as well as gifted local musicians. Now, it's the perfect place to discover distinctive crafts and artworks created by talented local artists. Bring the whole family to enjoy interactive exhibitions, games, and kid-friendly activities. Mark your calendars and invite your friends. Promfest 25 offers days of celebration and exploration. Visit promfest.com for more info or follow Promfest Official on all social media channels. Promfest is a gathering spot for the community and we expect to see you there. And guess what? I have tickets to give away. I have tickets to Promfest 25. I'll be telling you how you can win the tickets in a bit. so the Promfest 25 is happening this weekend from the 25th. It actually started 2 days ago. 25th to the 31st of August at the Promfest Park on Mandela Road in Pram. So this weekend, if you're not doing anything, just hitch a ride and go to Pram. The musical concerts are on the 29th and on the 30th, 29th and 30th August, which is Friday and Saturday. So it's Promfest 25. It's a great time. There are great workshops, wonderful food to enjoy, and the great musical bits Friday, Saturday. EL Stoneboy. Others will be there. Family and Co will be there. And it's a place to discover distinctive crafts and artworks created by talented local artists. You can bring your family as well. So visit promfest.com for more info or visit Promfest Official on all social media channels. Promfest is a gathering spot for the community and we expect to see you there. Aha! They've brought my tickets. I have tickets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 regular tickets. Emmanuel, come. What are you saying? Emmanuel, come and sit down. You're saying now when we do giveaways, people don't go.
Yeah, I'm saying if they know they won't go, they shouldn't take the ticket. They should allow those who go to come for it. Because the last time when we did one, there were 2 guys who won. They didn't come for it. They said they would come. They didn't come for it. So before we knew it was 2 days, we couldn't even give it out to another person. So the tickets went waste.
Listeners, don't be doing
that. They have to go if they want to.
Listeners, if you want to go to Promfest, right? If you want to go to Promfest, do let me know so that we'll reserve the ticket and we'll give it to you. Don't come and take it and then you do not go and then you wreck somebody's chances. 3 minutes after 9. Let's take a spot of music so we can breathe a little. When we come back, we'll touch base with Abigail Senasosu in Yamoussoukro to find out what the police ladies are up to these days. They are trying to qualify for the CAF Women's Champions League. We'll touch base with her. So all of that happening on the Sporty Breakfast. And then we'll talk a bit about the Champions League playoffs in Europe. Celtic. I have missed out. And then there's some League Cup action tonight. Man United travel to Grimsby. Under pressure, Man United. Under pressure, Ruben Amorim. If it doesn't work for him, dear bro, I personally think he's on a time bomb and he's on a clock. I personally think we are in the last weeks or last days of Ruben Amorim's. I don't know. I just feel it. Actually, the end is near. And then we'll do some US Open tennis. Ray says he has a lot to say today. Some people are at the US Open. He's not sure of their credentials. All right, this is the Sporty Breakfast. Let's take some music. When we come back, we have a lot to do. Plus, later on, we'll do some cycling. The 2025 edition of the Proride is happening. We'll get our friends from Prudential to give us some detail, right? Tell us a bit more about that. So that's what we'll be doing. This is still this is still the Sporty Breakfast. Some comments are coming in. I'll read those comments a little later. Let's enjoy some music. When we come back, we have a lot for you. Don't go anywhere. Stick and stay. This is 106.1. We are Sporty FM. This is the voice of sport. This is the Sporty Breakfast. 061. Before I leave today, I'll be handing out 5 tickets to Promfest 25. 5 tickets to Promfest 25. 5 regular tickets to Promfest 25. So if you live around Pram or you have an adventurous bone and you want to go to Promfest this weekend, all right, I have stuff for you. These tickets are for the 29th of August. So if you have time, yeah. Anyway, as I said, before the show ends, I'll be handing out the tickets. So be ready. 5 people will win tickets this morning. And it's a very simple thing. A little later on in the show, before I sign out, I'll open the phone lines. Just call. Once you are able to get through, you mention your name. Tell me where you are calling from. I'll give you a ticket to go to Promfest 25. It's happening 25th to the 31st of August. So that these tickets are for the 29th, right? 29th. So you can go and enjoy some great stuff at the Promfest Park on Mandela Road in Pram. All right, let's talk about police ladies. Police ladies, they lost 2-1 to Bielsa Queens last week on match day 1 of the Wafubi qualifiers for the CAF Women's Champions League. CAF Women's Champions. They are trying to qualify. They have to qualify from Wafubi, but they lost to Bielsa Queens 2-1. Today they take on Samnelli. And they have to get it right today. If not, it will be an issue. Let's hear from Yusuf Basigi, head coach of the team, and then we'll get updates from Abigail Senasusu, who is on the ground in Cote d'Ivoire. Let's hear from Yusuf Basigi, head coach of police ladies who are trying to qualify for the CAF Women's Champions League.
We have put the first game behind us because there's no way we can bring it. Now we are looking forward to playing a very good game to win the maximum 3 points to keep our dreams alive. Actually, we also have to respect them because they won their first game and they are not that bad, whereby we will just take them for granted. We are not going to underrate them at all because they are equally good, and for that matter, we will ensure that we give them a very good game and then ensure that we get a 3 maximum point.
All right, so that's Yusuf Basigi, head coach of the police ladies team. Let's go to the line. Let's speak with Abigail Senasusu. She's joining us from Yamoussoukro. Abigail, good morning. How are you doing today?
Nathan, I'm very well today. Yourself?
Yes, we are fine. How is the team? How are police ladies? Today is match day 2. We hope they get it right. How are they, or how have they been getting ready for this very important game against Samnelli in the Wafubi qualifiers?
Well, it's been joy-joying, trying to get things right after they lost that game, and I think that it is looking good. Mood and calm is lifted. They all know that that was literally not the end of the road. It was just the beginning, and it was bumpy. They have 2 more opportunities to at least amass 6 points and possibly make it out of the group. And so at the LMPHB Stadium, those last 2 days, they had the opportunity to have that official training session again. And Abu Tabasu took over as usual, dishing out all of those instructions and making sure that all those plans they have should be able to work again. They were at it again, rehearsing and then correcting all of the errors that came about in that game against Bielsa Queens. And then they had some time to also recover as well. And then yesterday, after we all watched that Group A game between ASGN and USFA, they also had the opportunity to train again at the Lee Scientific Center for about an hour. I was quite... we had to find our way around to also use that pitch. And so they wrapped it all up, did all the corrections, and everybody knew what they just have to do and how they have to set up against Samnelli, who had quite a physical game with the best of them winning that game 1-0. And so they have tried their best. They have tried to put their house in order, corrected all of that mistakes, and the journey continues for them. They are in high spirits, hopeful that this game will be the turning point for them in this journey.
When you watch the police ladies play that first game, and as we think about that game against Samnelli, what are the things that you believe police ladies will have to do better in this second game if they will get the results they are looking for against Samnelli?
Samneli appears to have a very good goalkeeper and one attacker up front that Yusuf Bazigi rightly mentioned in his interview, and he has also been able to pinpoint that they are quite physical, they run a lot, and I feel that what Police Ladies need to do is to get their frontliners to get at least some early goals to unsettle them. Because they run a lot and try to use their energies and their physique and all of that. Sometimes they do get tired early. We saw that in that second half against ASCO. So I believe that if this Police Ladies team wants to go ahead of them or get those points, 2 quick goals, especially in the first half, should just unsettle them, and they have to be tactful when they are going up against their goalkeeper. She is extremely good, for me, one of the most agile I've seen thus far in this competition. So they really have to get at them quick and fast, and then get whatever they have to out of them, and also not avoid being bullied. Structure-wise, they are well built than our girls. You know, this part of West Africa, we don't really have those physically built players like that, but they do. To a certain level, and so we would have to find a way to go past them and not look down or be scared of the physique and how they would attack us physically. It is going to be a physical game. That I feel they have to have that at the back of their mind and be strong enough to face them when they come that way. But some quick goals to unsettle them should do the job for Police Ladies.
When you speak with the players, Yusuf Basigi himself, the number 2 Abu Tabasu, do they now, are they more comfortable? Are the nerves out of the system in terms of playing in this competition? It's their first time here, but are they beginning to feel more comfortable, and do you get the sense they are ready for this afternoon's game?
Nathan, if I heard you right, you're asking if the coaches are more comfortable.
Yes, I'm asking if the players mainly, but do you get the sense that they are more relaxed, more comfortable now that at least they've played one game and they have a second game to play?
Sure, as the competition goes, I'm sure their confidence is also growing. You get that after Monday when they began to talk to themselves. Yusuf Bazigi had to really sit them down and talk to them. For Tabasu, he also accepted that this is his first time, so clearly he didn't really get a hold of a number of things, but he also is now very well comfortable in understanding the terrain when it comes to this exposure and this kind of game. So I am very positive the girls now understand what it is. And the good thing is they've allowed themselves to watch the others play. So it's not just about they playing in Group B, but they start through to watch the other games as well. So they understand exactly what it is and how things should be done here going forward. And so, yes, if they ask me that they are growing in confidence by the day, and for Bazigi, he needs no introduction at this stage, and so he is just trying to make sure that all of the confidence, all of the knowledge he has will be rubbing off all of these players. And Tabasu and to the technical team to a large extent, they clearly have not seen this before, so it looks good. Their way of going up, the way they are going about things is also inspiring a number of confidence in some senior players who should be able to talk to the junior ones. But for me, I see a lot of confidence in some of the girls that even joined on loan from other clubs, especially Sarah Nyakun, that all of us thought should have been the woman of the match. But for the fact that we lost that game, she was not given that accolade. But she played so well and didn't feel bothered about the stage she was on. So for some of the individual players who are just built that way to show up on big stages, it is showing and it's looking good. It's all well and good. I'm sure that confidence should be able to translate into a better performance later this evening at 6 p.m.
Okay, we wish Police Ladies the very best. Thank you so much, Abigail, for that update. Just finally, can you confirm game time for us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm asking you to confirm what time kickoff is for those who are interested in knowing.
Okay, so initially we were supposed to have used the Charles Conan Banish Stadium only, but it looks like days after we are done with the qualifiers, the Wafu BU17 Boys Cup will also come on. So there have been 2 venues now. So yesterday we used the Lease Center, that's some few meters away from Charles Conan Bani. So today at 3 p.m., the first game will be at the Lease Center, Lease Scientific Center. Then at 6 p.m., Ghana and then Sam Nelly will move to Charles Konan Bay, and we will play on that pitch as well. So the same venue for Ghana, luckily, that is at 6 p.m. local time.
Okay, Abigail, thank you so much. We wish police ladies the very best. I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Thank you.
All right, that was Abigail Sena Susu, a woman on the ground. She's in Cote d'Ivoire, keeping an eye on the police ladies team and the larger WAFU-B qualifiers in terms of the CAF Women's Champions League. So 6 p.m. Ghana time. So you can follow Sporty FM. You get all the updates from Cote d'Ivoire. All right, let's proceed. Yesterday there were some very interesting games in the UEFA Champions League playoffs. Celtic, they took on Kairat and the Kairat Almaty of Kazakhstan, and they missed out on the Champions League group stage. They lost 3-2 on penalties. Both games ended goalless. And they went into the shootout. Celtic missed out 3-2. So they drop into the Europa League. Okay, they drop into the Europa League. And, I think it's the first time in their history. They are not too happy. Their manager, Brendan Rodgers, he's saying that the team will have to stick together and all of that. Quite sad. But they'll have to proceed from there. But another manager who is not feeling too good, Ray, is Graham Potter. Graham Potter's West Ham lost 3-2 to Wolves in the League Cup last night. They were leading at a point, and they couldn't see their job through. Wolves came back to win by 3-2. Here's Graham Potter speaking after that particular game, and he shared his thoughts after Wolves beat West Ham in the League Cup.
Jared just cares a lot about the club. He cares a lot about the team. Fantastic captain, fantastic person. Gave everything in the game, and it's just one of those situations. Nothing. It's an exchange of views, no problem, because our supporters are hurting as well, and they obviously care about the club. So no problem at all. Jared's fine. Just disappointed after going out the cup.
So that was West Ham manager Graham Potter. Now, what was he talking about? Well, Jared Bowen, who's club captain, had an issue with some fans. So he went, after the game, he went over to speak with some fans or to applaud and all of that. And it looks like some fans or somebody said something, and Jared Bowen really wanted to, get into the mixer with the fans. He had to be held back by the stewards. Okay, they played at Wolverhampton, and he had to be held back. Kelvin, it's a tough time for Graham Potter. West Ham are winless in their they are winless so far. They haven't won a game this season.
I remember I told you about Graham Potter.
Yeah, you did.
It's going to be difficult for him to actually change anything around this West Ham team. And the earlier the Hammers, relieve him of his duties, the better for them, because I don't see a turnaround. From last season, you could just see the decline. And it's not like any of the players is getting any better. You look at their team, and even Paqueta, who was so brilliant, now he plays and it's like he's worked out already. And I think it's just a really sad moment. But for Wolverhampton Wanderers, yes, they also needed this. The season did not start too well for them, and I think that with this victory over West Ham, it only sets them up for a very good weekend ahead when they get into matters. Leeds United, quite surprising. They played against Shrewsbury Town, but I wasn't overly surprised.
I think it's Sheffield.
Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield haven't also been bad in the championship this season. I think out of the 4 games that they've played, they hadn't lost any game. They had settled for draws and all that, but they hadn't lost any game, so they were also a very resolute side. Whether fortunately or unfortunately for them, this was a game that had to travel to penalties, and Fulham should have just won the game, but they had to equalize late from Bogo, who managed to get the equalizer, and then they went on to the shootout where Dominic Calvert-Lewin, yesterday he was terrible.
He had a very, very bad
pinpoint deliveries, and he was heading the balls over the bar. His touch, his control, it was like this is a player who hasn't played football in 2 years. But it was just bad. But credit to Sheffield Wednesday, the goalkeeper. He saved 2 kicks, and then one was blasted wide by Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
He saved the first kick,
yes,
and
the third kick. Yeah, so very, very excellent for them. And then I think it's good enough. It will boost their confidence as they try to also play and return to the Premier League, because they are struggling also in the Championship. These are the magical moments that you live for when it comes to cup games, and very much impressive to see them qualify. But did you get past the Champions League?
Yeah, I mentioned it. Maybe you want to touch on that.
Yesterday, I think for Kazakhstan, this is great for their football. Big enough for their football. I was watching the game. I was like, come on, why is it that Celtic are struggling? They were struggling to even have anything on the ball, but it was all because of the nature of the pitch. There are times to Raymond, whether you like it or not, if you get onto a terrain that the pitch is bad, you are not conversant, it's not ideal, you are going to struggle. And I'm sure that yes, they should have understood that was the position they were going to find themselves in. But by the time they realized it was late for them, it got to penalties, and they just started also missing their kicks. And then the Kazakhstan side managed to just bang in their goals and get into the next stage of the Champions League. Bodo Glimt have also made that qualification into the Champions League. If you look at the pictures of their stadium and the access, come on, this is where they're going to play Champions League. You just smile at it. They've been playing in the Europa League and the Conference League for some years now, so I think it's good enough that their consistency has paid off with a UEFA Champions League progression for them. So that is good enough. This evening, Manchester United will be looking forward to playing against Grimsby. Grimsby are in League 1, I should say. They play very good football. I think they haven't also lost this season. If you are talking about the highest scoring sides in the League 1, they are part of the teams. The only team that has a better SG than them is Crewe. Yeah, so they are the only team. So, but if you look at how they've played their games, I think is it 1 draw or 2 draws, but the rest have been wins for them. So they are also a very good team. I think Manchester United bought players, the pump and pageantry around them, thinking that the season was going to start on a high. Unfortunately, they've lost 2 games, and that euphoria,
lost 1, drawn 1.
Yes,
it feels like 2 losses actually.
So the feeling of having even these fresh players is dying out. If tonight they are not able to win convincingly,
Sporty FM.
Fine, it happens in cup games. You may lose, the magic of cups. But United need to win convincingly to make a statement.
Pressure on them.
Exactly. If Amorim knows how League 1 and Championship sides play their football, that 3-back system, he won't try it. He won't try it this evening.
To kill him.
Because they're going to play that long ball, kick and run to the wide areas. Route 1 football. If he knows what is good for him, he shouldn't try the 3-back system. He should just try and then get his 4-back, play with the 2 central midfielders, push Bruno high up. If I were him, just put Mbeumo on the right, put Cunha on the left, play Sheshko.
This is a game as a 10.
Exactly.
Just do something to get a result.
Exactly. Get the result. Put Menu and then Menu or Casemiro in that central.
Something and get
United are not playing. Luckily, they are not playing in Europe, which means it's just the domestic cups that they would engage in. So you put in your all to try get what? At least a trophy. I'm sure at the end of the season, if United are 4th for a Champions League next season and then they win the Carabao Cup,
League Cup or an FA
exactly, Cup. The fans will be appreciative. It is better than Arsenal placing 2nd and not winning any trophy. You get it? Newcastle United won the League Cup last season and made the Champions League qualification. Now they are seen as potential winners of the league than Manchester United, who should ordinarily be one of the teams or the clubs considered for the Champions. So it's going to be a big night for Ruben Amorim. And Bruno Fernandes should behave. That misbehavior and that silly excuse that he gave for missing the penalty shouldn't happen, and we just hope that United will get a victory. We need them to be performing so the banter can be sweet. If they keep losing, the banter is not sweet like that, because once they get into games, you know what is already.
It's not even fun anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise you.
They need to do well so that the day the loss happens, is good for those who don't like United.
How is it that you get into domestic football and Manchester United haven't had consecutive victories?
Hey!
Ever since
back to back victories. Ray, do you know if they put a consortium of me, you, and Kelvin together, we can manage 3 back-to-backs? Do you know that? So nothing fancy, nothing fancy.
So that is it. There, I don't know. I don't know what is happening. I know Raymond will just want to
finish, and then
on his US Open before we sign.
But before we leave, though, it's important that we mention the Champions League debutants, Paphos FC of Cyprus.
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt. You remember Bodo Glimt?
Bodo Glimt.
Last season's Europa League, they were the ones causing problems, and then they got eliminated.
They went all the way to the semi.
Spurs knocked them out. And then you have this team.
Good progress, eh?
Yeah, the Kerat.
If you remember Bodo Glimt, you saw that special Mesut Ozil goal that, he actually went on a counter break, decided to, lift the ball over the player. You get, that was the team. He had to take Arsenal that late. So in the last couple of years, about 8 or 5 seasons now, consistent in the Europa League. And last season was just a testament of their ability. They've actually built over a period of time. So there is that confidence. It's good enough to have them in Europe.
They beat Jose Mourinho's team.
Yeah. Yes, they took out Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
They KO'd Fenerbahce.
So they built that confidence and quality over time. And I think it's good to see them in the Champions League. They should come and test their strength. But the Champions League is not a playground.
And the Kazakhstani team. The Kazakhstan, they'll be taking 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, those things. But all of them, you see, the reason why a lot of these teams, when they make the Champions, irrespective of the outcome, they are happy is that because of the monetary benefit.
Yeah.
I'm checking something here. Now, qualifying to the Champions League is 18 million euros for each club.
That's money.
Do you know what that means for Paphos FC?
It's huge.
It's huge. So that's why when they qualify, they are happy. When you play in the group stage, match day revenue, you are on TV, merchandise, you get a little money. But to make 18 million just for qualifying, all teams will take it. So for Paphos, Bodo Glimt, and Kerat, it's a good night for them. They'll be very happy with what they've done. At least they get, how many group stage matches are there these days? Is it 8?
Yeah, you play 8.
So at least they'll play 8 games, 4 home, 4 away. So 4 times in the next few months, some of Europe's best teams will come to Cyprus or Kazakhstan, or they go to Bodo Glimt. So it's a very, very good thing when some of these clubs qualify for the biggest competitions. It changes a lot, at least for a few months. It changes a lot about them. The world will see them. They will come on TV. You get to watch them. So it's a wonderful time. So congrats, the Champions League draw is tomorrow. We'll be giving you all the info. Man United fans, your team is not part of the Champions League, so you can decide not to watch the draw. Or you can watch it.
The draw
for motivation, especially Man United players. They should watch it for motivation.
I'm willing to go and sit in front of TV that he wants to watch.
No, I'm just saying that. But they say they won't qualify for Europe. No problem. Watch your fellow teams play. If that doesn't motivate you to do well, nothing else will. All right, Ray, let's talk about the US Open.
Let's go to the US Open.
Let's go to New York.
Yeah, let's go to the Flashing Meadows. Flashing Meadows.
Flashing Meadows.
Yeah, Flashing Meadows. And we are going to Queens. Yeah, Nathan, a lot has been happening. So we've done 3 days already. Yes. And to take you through the men's singles, Yannick Sinner, he qualified to the next stage of the competition after a comfortable 6-1, 6-1, 6-2 victory over
6-1, 6-2
Kopriva.
Quick.
You know, and people are beginning to question why he ran away from the final in the
Cincinnati.
Yeah, in the Cincinnati Masters. Because clearly, after this performance, nobody believes he was even sick in that final.
Oh, he said it.
So he ran away from that contest. But Carlos Alcaraz, world number 2. He also beat Riley Opelka
with a new haircut.
Yes, yeah, he grabbed no fellow. You know, he wants to focus. He doesn't want any hair distraction. You know when they are playing tennis, Nathan, every single part of the body has a role to play. Maybe at a point, a strand of hair falls on your eye. It's a distraction. So for serious players like Alcaraz, they don't want to deal with anything. You let me shave everything off. It won't take time for it to grow. Let me shave everything off. Let me focus. So it's not now coming to play tennis and then you have to be spending time trying to put styling gel and things. No, it's a serious player. You understand? So sometimes, they do some of these things. Then Novak Djokovic, he overcame Lennart Tien to actually progress to the next stage of the competition. Now there's a player from Hong Kong called Coleman Wong.
Coleman Wong?
Yes. So he became the first man from Hong Kong to win a Grand Slam single match in open era. He defeated Alexander Kovacevic in 3 straight sets. So Coleman Wong is one player everybody's looking at and saying, well, he caused an upset. So let's see what he can do for the rest of the competition. And there's Felix Auger-Aliassime, who also recorded a hard-fought victory over Billie Harris. So all of these players are through to the next round of the competition. In the women's field, you have Iga Swiatek. She won against Emiliana Arango 6-1, 6-2.
Remember when Swiatek went on this run where she went unbeaten for what? Almost, was it 14?
Yeah.
What's some number, B?
Yes, 14 prior to her French Open defeat. Yeah. Her Wimbledon loss, I think. Yes. Or I think it was a good run. Yes.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, so Nathan, find that for me.
She went. Hold on. She went.
I think that was her last campaign. Let me just get that for you. She went on
this run. This race was just winning.
Yes, and then she was stopped.
She was stopped at the point. Anyway, let's proceed.
Yeah,
we'll get that.
Let me just find that for you, because sometimes it's nice to just get into a bit of all this. So the last time she lost to Clara Towson. That was in Montreal. But in terms of the Grand Slam, the last time she lost to I think the Grand Slam, she last lost to Sabalenka in the French Open semis. Yes, after going on a run of quite a long run. But the last time she had a long run was after losing to Jessica Pegula in Hamburg. She went on a 14-match run before she lost to Clara Towson again.
Okay.
So she's again on another run. As we speak presently, she's on a 7-match unbeaten run on her way to possibly winning the US Open. So that's it for Swiatek. So she also won her match yesterday, 6-1, 6-2, comfortably. Coco Gauff, she had to battle it out with Ajla Tomljanovic this morning. So the match went on this run. So she lost she actually won the first set 6-4, lost the second set 6-7, and then won the final set 7-5. So it was a dramatic 3-setter for her. She almost didn't make it, but she managed to scrape through. But I'll talk a bit about Coco Gauff today. Amanda Anisimova also, world number 8. She is past Kimberly Burrell 6-2, 6-3. Naomi Osaka also, she beat Grit Minen 6-2, 6-4. And then Marta Kostyuk, she also eliminated Katie Bolter 6-4. So Nathan, it's going according to plan. You see, the top seeds you are expecting to progress have progressed. Now, what's actually happening here is that we haven't seen any major casualties since the start of the competition, where we saw the likes of Madison Keys exit. So yesterday was pretty peaceful. Yesterday was quite a comfortable day for most of the players in there. Just Diana Schneider, number 20, and Sophia Kenin exited. Not your top seeds as you would normally want to talk about. So that's how that one ended. So today we are expecting to see Novak Djokovic in action against Zachary Vajda. Djokovic was not too impressive in his first match, so we are seeing what he will do in this game. And we're also expecting Carlos Alcaraz to take on Mattia Bellucci. That's another game. Then you have Taylor Fritz coming up against Lloyd Harris, Ben Shelton against Pablo Carreno Busta.
Let me ask you this: of the Americans, who do you think has it in them to go the furthest?
Well, it's looking very much like Taylor Fritz, Ben Shelton, these two, number 4, number 6, they are the favorites to go all the way. In terms of consistency, I think Taylor Fritz has it.
Okay.
In terms of consistency, I think Shelton hasn't been consistent. That's where I think he could possibly struggle a bit. He hasn't been consistent, and when he's come up against some of the big boys, he struggled. So Taylor Fritz could possibly go all the way, and it's on the side of the draw that favors him. So we'll see how far he goes, and we are expecting to see Kasper Ruud in action today. Jean-Leonard Struff also. Irina Sabalenka should be back on court today. She'll be playing against Polina Kudametova, and she needs to at least reach the quarterfinals to maintain the number 1 spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if she gets to the quarterfinals of the competition,
she
keeps her number 1 spot.
Okay.
Jessica Pegula will be in action against Anna Blinkova. Emma Raducanu, she's hoping to win the US Open again. Yeah, and so she's coming up against Yanis Zhen from Singapore. Yeah,
Francis Tiafoe is playing. He's taking on Martin Dam, also of America.
Martin Dam. Yeah, so Martin Dam. Yeah, so
Cameron Norrie also playing.
Norrie is also playing. So all of them are in action today. Then you have Emma Navarro also coming up today. Victoria Azarenka will play today. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova will also play. Elena Rybakina will also play today. So all of them are in action. But later I wanted to talk a bit about Coco Gauff. You know, Coco Gauff before the tournament changed.
Let's wrap it up with
Coco she changed her self coach. So she moved from Matt Daly and then brought in Gavin McMillan. Now Coco Gauff, after watching her this morning against Tomjanovic, clearly she struggled. And she struggled again in areas where everybody expected her to struggle. That forearm was always a problem. Clearly came back into this game. Again, her double fault again became an issue. And interestingly, you know, Nathan, when Coco Gauff failed to defend the title in 2024, when she was kicked out by Emma Navarro in the 4th round, she committed a very high number of 19 double faults in that game. Now, when she lost, she sacked the coach, Brad Gilbert, and then brought in technique expert Matt Daly. Okay. Now, Matt Daly, again, after looking at her numbers in 2025, decided to part ways with Matt Daly because if you look at her numbers on double faults alone, she's done about 320 double faults alone in 2025.
300 and
prior
what?
To the US Open. 320 double faults.
320?
In 47 matches so far this season, averaging 6.8 double faults a match. And that caused her to decide to move on from Matt Daly and bring in Gavin McMillan, who helps Sabalenka recover her serve deficiencies. Okay, so that's the major change she's done. But again, in the match against Tomjanovic, we could count as many as 10 double faults.
Wow!
And she made 59 unforced errors, 3 more than Tomjanovic. Now she goes into her next game against Dona Vekic, who is also a very tricky customer, who makes less unforced errors and also has very low numbers in terms of the double faults.
I see.
So as to whether that gamble to bring on Macmillan is really paying off, we don't know. Because if you look at the numbers in terms of double faults, Alicia Park stops 225, clearly telling you that Coco Gauff has made 95 more double faults than Alicia Park. These are stats that don't help her. So we are waiting to see what she does in the tournament as the tournament progresses, but it's not looking too good for her. It's not looking too clean for her because once your opponents are able to figure out your issues, you know, your serve motion and all, it becomes a challenge for every tennis player. And for those of you who are rooting for Coco Gauff, you know, for all the Coco Gauff fans, sorry to disappoint you, but she has real issues she has to deal with. If she's not able to deal with all these issues, then clearly I don't think that she's going to replicate her 2023 US Open winning form. So we'll see how things go. But in terms of the men, we're all looking out for Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz again. These are the two men who definitely dominate. I won't be surprised to see another final between the two of them. But let's see what happens today. Sometimes tennis can be unpredictable. Not with Sinner and Alcaraz, but we'll see how things go. And for Sabalenka, you know, again against Polina Kudametova, that's a hurdle she can overcome and possibly make it to the 3rd round of the competition. So we'll talk a lot more tennis tomorrow. So let's finish our Proride.
Yes, let's finish with some cycling. So Ray is right. Let's talk about the Proride. I have Frederick Dodu Techi, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. He's the head of marketing and comms, and I have Shaban Mohammed. Shaban. I don't know why these my people. Shaban Mohammed, General Secretary of the Ghana Cycling Federation, and Anthony Ahiableh. He's with Yenko Ride Mobility, right? Or is it Yenko Ride or Mobility? Yenko Mobility. Guys, welcome. Good morning. How are we doing?
Doing good, very good, excellent. Oh yes.
Yeah. We forgot. Yay. Anyway,
it takes time.
Yes, it does take time. Let's for those, Fred, you were here the other day.
Sure.
Somebody may have missed that interview. Okay, somebody may have missed that interview. So I want you to do two things for me. First, tell us a bit about Prudential. People will say, "Oh yeah, they are an insurance company," but how do they function? That is one. And two, why are you doing Proride, or what is Proride, and why is an insurance company interested in cycling?
That's a good question. So Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, it's a subsidiary of Prudential PLC, which is a global company which currently focuses in Asia, the Asian region, and Africa, in over 18 markets. And we've been around for 177 years in total. In Ghana, this is our 11th year. And within that period, we've been known all over the world. Actually started from the UK, expanded into the US and other parts of the world before its focus now is in Asia and Africa. And the level of excellence that have happened all over the years have moved us to this phase of our trajectory as a company globally, which is now sustainability led, for which you can see in our purpose as a business that our purpose now is to be protectors for every life, partners and protectors for every life and then every future as well. So what we are trying to say is that the life today and the life to come, we want to partner you, we want to protect you, we want to give you that kind of support that even right from the day you are born to the day that you leave this world, you have somebody that you can depend on. And this is what we are trying to do as a business. So trying to do that, what we want to do is now to create value, not only for the business, but the people that work there, the people that we work with, the communities, partners like government agencies, social organizations, and also for our shareholders as well. So the whole thing is, how do we create more value for people? And you create value for people when you invest in things that matter to them. Sports is one of those things that matter to people because it keeps people fit, it keeps people healthy. And it's also in line with our sustainability goals, which also means that we are supposed to invest responsibly. We are supposed to help communities to become resilient. And if people are healthy, it means they spend less on hospital bills. They are able to use that money to sort of advance their life. That's create more value for their lives. And aside of the health benefit of it, you also have the social issue. People aspire to greatness. Now, sports is also a profession. It's also something that creates jobs and a livelihood for people. And so even as you are thinking about impacting people's health, you're also thinking about how do you create opportunity for young people who aspire to be cyclists. How can you create an ecosystem for them so that they can also reach that global standard? And that's why we are doing Proride. Then the next thing is also bring people together, because in trying to create value for people, it means people must interact with people. People must share ideas. There must be a community that you grow. And that is what Proride is actually trying to achieve. So the sustainability aim of health, fitness, and value for the community, value socially, and then also value even for government organizations or quasi-government organizations as well. Because in any case, government is supposed to invest in cycling. But if we can do that to support the government, that means that the government can also do other things to advance the progress of the country. So
let's just run me through the modality surrounding Proride 2025. When is it happening? Where is it happening? And just some details on that. And then I'll take some thoughts from Shaban and then Anthony.
Okay, so it's happening on Sunday, the 31st of August.
This Sunday?
Yes, we do it on Sunday because it's much safer. The routes are less busier. Now, in terms of who qualifies, anybody at all can come and ride, because you have two sessions: the amateur, that everyday riders like myself and you,
like
and
Raymond.
then we also, and Raymond of course, and then you also have the elite riders, also those who have actually taken this as a livelihood, as a profession. and it's more competitive for them. And aside that, to the riding time they get adds to the value that creates for them in terms of their pedigree in riding as well. They are doing 100 kilometers, and they can register by through their UCI license or through their cycling clubs to the federation. And then for the amateurs like yourself and myself, you can also register using our short code, which is the *778*001# *778*001#, or you go to our website, which is www.prudential.com.gh. When you go there, you just see the Proride banner right there. You can click on it, or you can just search it in the tab there. Just click on Proride. You see the registration system, and then you can be able to register. We also have on our socials too, we have a barcode that you can also scan and be able to register as well. And this is happening not just for male. We also have the male, female, children, elderly, even persons with disabilities are encouraged to register and partake.
Great stuff. Let me bring in Shaban Mohammed. He's General Secretary of the Ghana Cycling Federation. Shaban, thank you so much for passing through. Can you tell us which or what role the Ghana Cycling Federation is playing in the Proride 2025?
Thank you very much. As you know, cycling is a sport, and it has also rules and regulation. Because if you don't put the rules and regulation with this multi-prize, I would say is one of the best ever in cycling, by female cyclists riding 75 kilometers within a day, and she will receive a 15,000 Ghana cedis. It's so amazing. And with the male 100 kilometers receiving 15,000, and you know, if there's no regulation, people will just take any course to just win. And you know, so these are some of the areas that the Cycling Federation matters in, to make sure that it's conform with the regulation of our world body, to bring sanity, to bring fairness, fair play. So this is what the federation is working out. And also to add up with Prudential, to be honest, this year is the 6th year of organizing this event, and their event has been captured in our calendar. And also it's also a marking point for the cyclists to qualify to travel international, to go and compete internationally. So you can see everybody want to make it a point to be part of this event, to accumulate points. And we are even pushing. Fortunately, this event, we are going to see the minister, we are going to see the Ghana Olympic president riding. Your Unpavokra you say you confirm tomorrow. The Director General. So we want to see all of them riding, and if they see this, I believe in the future, Prudential Proride, we are trying to consider it to be one of the sanctioned events to qualify you to even Olympic Games. Because it's this when we do the event is growing every day, and almost it's not only Ghanaians are taking part in this event. This event that Nigeria won last year. There's Senegal that is coming. There's Sierra Leone that is coming. Tunisia is coming. So it's not only, this event is not only for Ghanaians. It's now going to be like an African or global event. So we are also pushing very hard to see if the world body see the support of the government. Like he mentioned, if the government is not putting much coming to the practice of investing into it, they are doing it on behalf of the government. And we are also pushing that agenda so that at the end of the day, the world body can take Proride as part of the Olympic qualification. And when it's an Olympic qualification, you can see the almighty Bukacha and the rest of the world champions will all come to Ghana to take part, because it's a qualification event. So Prudential is doing well for cycling. And most of these cyclists, to be honest, the first edition, when they won the race, 2 of the cyclists were able to get the plots.
I see.
Last year, the Nigerian cyclist who won now also bought his plot, his building. So I think it's more or less an area that now is helping the youths, and is developing. They are developing a lot of interest. And let me tell you, as at now, last year we had 80 cyclists, but now we are having close to 120 cyclists going to compete in this event.
Wow,
that's... You can see the way the game is growing.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. Now, let me bring in Anthony. Anthony Ahiabla is with Yenko Mobility. How do you guys fit into this equation? I'm just curious. What are you guys all about, and what role are you playing in terms of the Proride 2025?
Okay, sure. So Yenko Mobility is a shared rental e-bike company, right? What we intend doing is to have our bikes positioned at advantage points in Accra and then beyond. Currently we are focusing on Accra because here Accra is choked. So yes, for sure. So with the bikes, it's smart in terms of technology. It has an anti-lock where you can equally just use an app to scan it. Just like, I think there's always a saying that we are bringing Abrochi back it's a similar concept. But the unique features of our bike is that you can use the throttle, which is the accelerator, and then as well as paddle. So for those that want to paddle, I mean, as Fred said, it's a way of encouraging people to live healthy and also to promote eco-friendly environment for us. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I think that you realize that we are also fortunate with a lot of sustainability.
Yeah.
So how do we encourage people to use alternative means of transport so that we are able to reduce our carbon footprint? And so the whole idea is that we need everybody that believes in this thing, and I think that's what the Yenko believes in, what Prudential is trying to achieve. That's why they are coming there, I think, with about 90 cyclists using the electric bikes.
Okay.
So there's also going to be an area where you get to experience some of these bikes. I think that's not the only activity that's going to happen there. I think people have asked, is it only just about
Yes, cycling? I was about to ask you if it was only about cycling on the day. But I mean, which other activities? So you've mentioned one thing. What other things would be happening?
We're also going to have stationary bikes. So if you don't know how to ride, we get to start to learn from there. We're also going to have a kids cycling area for kids to also learn how to ride or have some riding fun. We're going to have like a kids play area. We're also going to have TV games. That's the
video games. Yeah,
exactly, the PS games. We're going to have foosball, snooker table, Jenga, archery, basketball. So it's like creating a whole experience. So even as you come and you cheer the riders, you also get to do something. There's also going to be a live stream of the cyclists as they go through the circuit. 100 kilometers. They are going to do about 20 circuits across parts of Accra to make up the 100 kilometers. And so as you watch and you are enjoying them, going calm and all of that, you also get to network and get to partake in some of it. It's actually a family event. I started as a cycling event, and then now people are coming with their families just to also experience the Black Star Square and the tourism ambience within that enclave, even as they also enjoy their riding as well. And then also, there's going to be a lot of things to win. For those who register to ride, they get some free souvenirs. Aside of that, to all riders, when you finish your race, you get a medal, and you know the quality of our medal. And then also, there are going to be trophies to be won, aside of the cash prizes, which ranges from 15,000. The minimum, I think, is around 1,000 cedis. So even the best 3 top clubs will get 1,000 cedis each. You're going to have the oldest female win something, the oldest male win something, the youngest male, the youngest female, persons living with disability. They are all sort of factored in this package as well. Aside of that, too, we're going to have a raffle, and we are sharing over 100 souvenirs just for participants. By just appearing there, you could win nice things from us. We have the water bottles that, for riding, for instance, you have tumblers, you have what do we call it? Umbrellas. There are so many things. You get to have fun. You get to enjoy the cycling. You get to go home with something as well. So it's a potpourri of family excitement as well. Yeah.
Great stuff. Anthony.
Yes, just to chip in. So okay, so in terms of the 90 bikes, those who will be riding, right? So we want to put across, it's a free promo code. So anyone that downloads our app, and then we have an app, it's a ride hailing app, just like the other ride hailing apps.
And what's the name of the app?
Yenko.
Okay.
Yes, Yenko. On both Play Store and an App Store. You can download from there. So you onboard yourself and then just apply the promo code. I mean, you'll be getting 50 CDs worth. And to be credited into your account.
Okay.
Yeah,
wonderful, great stuff. So, so the big headlines. 31st August. That's when the event is happening. Sure. What time does it start?
Registration starts at 6 a.m. 7 a.m. the ride also starts.
Okay.
So what we've done is that because people are registering, we sort out the registration and all of that. The federation sorts out the elite registration process as well, so it's quite seamless for them as well. And then you get to have a band that shows that you are riding. I think they're also tracking the bicycles that are riding to ensure people go by the routes as well.
I see.
And so that is what it will take to register. And then by 7, the amateur ride starts first, followed by the elite ride as well.
Great stuff. So, listeners, this Sunday, August 31, Black Star Square, get there as early as you can because the race will start 7. You have to get there way before 6 to register. Strap yourselves in and get ready. It's the Proride 2025. And you heard the price, 15,000 CDs.
Yes.
That is the price. If you're an elite rider, this all helps in terms of your times or points and all of that. It builds your CV if you want to qualify for some of the bigger events happening. It should be fun, guys. We wish you the very, very best. Finally, Fred, if somebody wants to get in touch,
sure,
how can they get in touch? Let's say they want to, I don't know if you are doing pre-registration or a vendor. If somebody just has other questions that may not have been answered in this interview, how can they get in touch with Prudential Life?
Okay, so
or they have insurance concerns.
If you have insurance concerns, there's a different number of game. But for Proride, our focus is on these numbers.
Yes.
If you have anything regarding maybe you are registering, you have a challenge, you want to talk to somebody, you're a vendor, you want to be considered, this is the number that you should call. 030 27 38727.
Okay.
030 2738727 or 020 20188870. So these are the numbers for Proride related matters.
I see. And if somebody has general insurance queries, what?
So there are a number of channels that you can use to be able to reach us.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have to take my time to sort of give you all the numbers as well. Sure. So just a second.
Yes. Anthony, if somebody wants to get in touch with Yenko, how can they do that?
We are on all platforms. That's Yenko Mobility. And then with the phone number is 054 6759 205.
Okay. All right. And Mohammed, what about the Cycling Federation? If people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Yeah, we have our website, www.ghanacyclingfederation.com, and we have our also Facebook, Ghana Cycling Facebook, and we also affiliate with the Ghana Olympic Committee and the National Sports Authority. So anytime you go between these two areas, you can see us, and also the contact is 0243 734077.
Okay.
And choosing the venue of the event is also another area of cycling tourism.
Okay.
Because the Black Star, you remember the president said the Black Square experience.
Yes.
So we are choosing that area to showcase what we have in Ghana. And there's a lot of media who always pick up this information. That's why you can see now Tunisia even coming to this event.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are one of the areas.
Wonderful. Fred,
So the various channels that you can reach us, first you can reach us on our website, www.prudential.com.gh, or all our social media platforms. Just type Prudential Life Insurance Ghana or at ProLifeGH, and you can get to all our platforms. Just DM us, we'll be able to attend to you. You can also send an email to customer service at promail.com.gh.
Okay.
Customer service at promail.com.gh. You can now call 030 2208877 030-220-8877. And then also you can walk to any of our branches. Our head office is just there at the 335 building on the 12th floor. On Joel, we have a branch in Dansoman, Dankwa, Circle, NI. We call that place NI, not industrial area. We're also at Tema and also at Spintex as well. So just call these numbers and go to our branches in these locations and you'll be served.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I've been speaking with Frederick Dodu Techi. He's the head of marketing and comms at Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. We also had Shaban Mohammed, General Secretary of the Ghana Cycling Federation, and Anthony Ahiable. He's with Yenko Mobility. It's all about this Sunday's event, the 2025 edition of the Proride is happening at the Black Star Square. So get there early, register, bring your bike, or you can get there and get a bike, and you can ride around either for fun, or if you're an elite rider, you get to compete for some mega prize money. Guys, thank you so much, and all the best ahead of Sunday.
Thank you so much, and we hope to see Sporty team there.
Yeah.
Nathan, come and ride. Ray, come and ride.
Welcome. Oh, I'll be there.
But I wonder how you mentioned the names when you were doing the highlights. All these interesting names there. Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, it's part of the job, right? Yeah. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Don't forget that between the 25th and 31st of August 2025, the Promfest is happening. Promfest 25 is happening at the Promfest Park on Mandela Road in Pram, and it will be wonderful stuff, fun, culture, community spirit. On the 29th and 30th, there's a great musical concert. E.L. Famia, Stoneboy, The Light, and the others will be there. You also get to see gifted local musicians, and it's a place to discover distinctive crafts and artworks created by talented local artists. There's also some wonderful food to enjoy, great experiences. Bring the whole family to enjoy interactive exhibitions, games, and kid-friendly activities. Mark your calendars and invite your friends. Promfest 25 offers days of celebration and exploration. Visit promfest.com for more info or follow their social media handles, Promfest Official, to get more info. Promfest is a gathering spot for the community, and we expect to see you there. Tomorrow morning, very early on the Sporty Breakfast, I'll be giving out 3 tickets. I said I'd be giving the tickets out today, but time is against us. So tomorrow, very early on Sporty Breakfast, I'll be giving 3 tickets to Promfest 25. Tomorrow morning, very early on Sporty Breakfast, I'll be giving out 3 tickets. What we'll be doing today is that on our socials, Fly and Iamga, on our socials, we'll be giving out 2 tickets. So tomorrow, I'll share 3 on the show. But today, we'll give 2 out on our socials. 2 tickets to Promfest 25 on our social media handle at SportyFM_ on X and Instagram, and on Facebook at SportyFM. So be on the lookout. We'll give 2 tickets today. And then tomorrow morning on the Sporty Breakfast, I'll give 3 tickets. 3 tickets to Promfest 25. As for the boys in-house, I'll sort them out. I have their tickets with me, so I'll sort everybody out. All right, that's our show for the morning. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Nathan Kwa. Raymond Yamado did this with me. Many shouts to Michael Asai Bwedu, Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, and Abigail Sena Susu for joining at various points. Many shouts to my production team, Nane Kia, Immortal, Emmanuel Ayamga, and Fly. Many shouts to the technical team. I see Eric in the building. Eric, yeah, shout outs to you and your team. Gary Al Smith, our team lead. Many shouts to you. And many shouts to you, our listeners. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Sporty Breakfast.